Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Welcome to SKTV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition. Welcome to the show. Um, Today it's another day. It's the first weekend or Saturday in May, in the month of May. For some, today is pre-Mother Day or the celebration of Mother Day. Today's Saturday, so we'd like to say happy pre-Mother Day to some of you out there. Um, to others, they will be celebrating Mother's Day next weekend, next Sunday. We also want to say happy Mother's Day to all of the women on earth and those who lost their mothers as well. We say happy Mother Day to all women. Happy Mother Day. Thank you for all you do, mothers. Uh, it's not easy to be a mother, but you have been mothers, some of you to all. So we say thank you. Thank you and thank you. Let's share the show as you join us. Briefly tell us where you are joining us from, please. Many of you have been asking when the show is starting, when you're coming on. You've been texting, you've been reaching out. The show is on. Let's share the show, please. As you are joining us, please share the show. We're begging you. Share the show. Today is May 6, 2023. The time check here is 11:07 a.m. Arizona time, Phoenix, Arizona. I think normally we operate on Mountain Standard Time. I think so. I'm not too sure, but let's share the show either ways. Share the show. Let us know where you're joining us from. We promised today that, speaking of mothers, we promised today to have an exciting conversation here. And we'll also be playing host to a mother, a woman, an advocate. This afternoon, she will be joining us momentarily here in person of Massa Washington. All of you know the name Massa Washington. She's not a stranger to the Liberian politics or, let's say, the Liberian advocacy and other groups. She is not a stranger. So let's share the show, please. Let's share the show as you are joining us. Share the show. Let us know where you're joining us from. A lot of exciting news. A lot of things are happening around the world. Some of you are aware. Today is the prince, the coronation of the new king of England. Very interesting things are happening around the world. So let's share the show. Like I said, Sekou will be joining us momentarily. We have a lot to talk about, guys. A lot. Let me tell you something. There's a lot going on. Too much going on. Yeah, the whole country, the whole country is flabbergasted. I mean, like who English there? The whole country flabbergasted right now. And that is it. And just so you know, Sekou will be joining us here. Don't rush. I know he's not in any haste. He's getting ready. I know he signaled me. He signaled me a couple of minutes ago that he's getting ready, getting prepared behind closed door to join us, to join the conversation. But let's share the show, guys. Let's share the show, please. Please share the show as you join. Share the show, please and please. It's not easy. It's not easy. Let me put it in the Liberian way. My people, ha. Oh my goodness. It's not easy. You see, today I want my blue share for peace. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm leaning. I told you before, I'm leaning Liberty Party. Today I get my blue on. I'm leaning Liberty Party. As of next week, I'll be eating my green. The following week, I'll be eating my wet. Yeah. I'm leaning Liberty Party. Anybody won't cause me. Anything you want to say, ain't no problem. No problem. I told you all on my page that on the 29th of April, the official politics started. All the other one you are doing that just zaman your own. That's zaman your own. Your been on zaman the real politics and stuff. All that thing we have been doing. No, let me tell you something. We now come back to our party, Liberty Party. Our leaning Liberty Party. Me, I told you from the you already know I can say my thing from the get go before I even get inside. I am leaning Liberty Party. Today I'm wearing blue. I'm not wearing blue today to confuse security. Yeah, that's what I wearing blue for. I don't want to confuse security. But next week, baby, I'm gonna be eating my green again. My green and all my Bezon boys. All my boys from Bezon. Nobody's stupid yet. We returning to base for the local things. My people, for the local things. It's not easy. It's not easy. We getting all the news here, but it's not easy, my people. My people, Master Washington will be here as our guest today for this conversation. Master Washington will be joining us. Our leaning Liberty Party. Say what you want to say. I am leaning Liberty Party. All of you been accusing me of being an ANC man. You can't accuse me of being Liberty Party man. Our leaning Liberty Party. That means say, hey, our leaning Liberty Party. I don't even want to talk against it because the player are too fired up. I am too fired up. Our leaning Liberty Party. I am leaning Liberty Party. I've been leaning Liberty Party for almost 2 years now. If you try me, if I play Bose there today, any attempt to attend a Bose there song will play here today. Your team was stupid here. Nobody's stupid here. I leaning Liberty Party. Oh, y'all get there with me. I leaning Liberty Party. All of you who curse me, who say you ANC man, you come in speaking, you know, you're are leaning Liberty Party. If any attempt, I'm going to play Posted here today, and y'all will not do nothing. And y'all can let's have it in record. The only time I walk on the show on SKTV, second by the work, you know it. The only time I walk on the show, if you remember that time I own my appear, that la, let me see who other was. Only which guy was said that la now. Wouldn't know the truth. Said a lie. I'll wait before we get into other news because other news a waste inside. In other news, a way inside. I would not care other news or tell me. I asking you, my people. I'm not here for your fix or one fix or two. And I don't know nobody camping trail. I said the only time I walk on the show, I wore my coat on the show. I was looking the friend message sape on the show. I was sappy on the show. I tell my own show. All your political leaders in Academy, I don't wear coat. I don't wear my regular shirt. And people can be telling me, oh, Seku, you got to find that man. Seku, you got to remove Steve from the show. Steve spoiling the show. You can't dress like you. You can't do the one. I don't even worry about you. I don't worry about you. When Bozede appear on the show, I will Kosu. The day Bozede appear here again, I will eat another Kosu. And you will not do nothing. You can do fine. Yep, you can do fine. Fine, you can do about it. I can't do nothing. But anyways, folks, as we're waiting to get into other news here, it will not be easy the weekend. The real politics. My men who our men who from the other side. Please, you don't all the sedition, you don't spar from distance. You can no talk that opposition been talking. You can. Our men who from the other side, UP, Joe Paul boy, them, JMB boy, you can, brother. That opposition been talking. That, so long we come in unite our party, a Liberty Party. So long there will be I've been hearing that noise in the air. So long we come in United Party, I'm leaning towards. I suspended my leaning towards the Liberty Party because the Liberty Party were in yo-yo. So long the Liberty Party failed the yo-yo, I leaning towards the party. I don't want no say. And nobody in the Liberty Party can even tell me that one we go no court. Nobody can tell my leaning shape from it. I'm leaning towards the party. It may you there. Then we gotta go to court. Chairman Musa Belede. Political leaders, Senator John Mikala Laurel. Even the a cheerleader in the United States, Beatrice, she can attempt to take it from me. It's not possible. It's not possible. I back to leaning towards my party. I back, and nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it back. Yes, that enjoyment, and nobody can stop it. And that's why I'm going to play. We come in dead. So, folks, let's share the show. Like I said, we're coming getting other news really quick while we await Sekou and our guests. Sekou, I beg you, can you please ask us? Let me reach out to. Let me text Sekou. Sekou, I beg you. Can we text you real quick? Just saying how I text you, I beg you. Anyways, Sekou, I beg you. Can you please text or ask those guys to please upload Bozele in a thing so I can what they call it? I can play it. I beg you because they put in one damn me. They know me. I'll never put a damn me. Oh, Mr. Can I please check your phone? I send you a message.
I already did. When I hear you talking about you dare people to do certain things, I already did. I'll put
yeah, any attempt that goes. But Mr.
I already uploaded that.
Oh, okay. But Mr. Kane, just before we get into the conversation, or while we are with Master Washington, and also get to the musical break here, I gotta, first of all, I want to announce to the people that last night, we were watching the game. The Phoenix Suns won. The Phoenix Suns won. So we won the Denver. Sekou was happy last night, but he did predict. Sekou predicted that the Suns will win. That I will give him credit. I don't know on the game you can do the prediction, but when it comes to politics, what's going on? I don't understand. So you predicted well last night, and last night we're watching the game, eating our meat, just having good time. and we're also scrolling on Facebook because we put it on the TV. Halftime, we saw all the commenting on Facebook. Watching your commenting on Facebook. Why some people getting vet, get a frog for no reason. But get vet, we don't get a problem with you. But anyways, Mr. Kane, welcome to today's edition. What's going on? Greet our people before we get in the conversation here.
Yeah, folks. I'm excited. Like Steve just put it, I'm excited for the fact that we are coming back. Denver defeated Phoenix Suns for 2-0. Now we are coming back. We just defeated them yesterday, and tomorrow we will add another one to it. I'm very excited on that end. On the politics side of it, the things, a lot going on. And I will amuse you to know some of the things that are going on. Some are very funny, some are scary, some are very exciting. I don't care how you see it or where you stand. Liberia is for everybody. No one person can intimidate or threaten or somehow bully anybody to submission. Liberia is a country where we have 16 tribes, but we have other people too who are not of any Liberian tribe, but they are citizens of Liberia per our constitution. Regardless of how you see things or where you stand politically, Liberia is for everybody. And everybody should be free to exercise their political franchise or to exercise their alienable right under the Constitution to associate, disassociate, be a part, not to be a part of anybody or any institution for that matter. Right now, the country is at a crossroad. The funniest thing about the whole thing is that this guy here is just like Steve. The guy is called Otello Yeni. Otello is one of the person that really he's been a big follower of SKTV or fan of SKTV. So lately, Otello was very, very, very angry. He is a big supporter of Yomli Kanga Lawrence. So lately, I follow him, and when I want to laugh, I can go on his page and laugh. Otello said, if he's been actually attacking Alexander Cummings for the past, years or so. So I went on your page a few days ago, Steve. The guy said, "Is there? He thought JNB was a good person." Then all of a sudden, he started lashing JNB. Then from there again, he said, "I apologize to JNB, man. I'm not going to be considered JNB again." So yesterday, a guy said, "One thing I will not do, I will not apologize to Cummings." Then the next thing I saw again, the man said, "Hey, I didn't know Cummings was that kind of good man." I have the man said, "You know, Cummings was kind of good man." So Steve, after that again, the man said, "They look at the ONAC people then showing me love because I'm praising it for Cummings now. I don't let Opoyo love." So he said 7% people there showing me so much love because I'm praising it because the man went and said, "Anywhere you go, that way we'll go." So the guy went and post story on his page. He said, "You can't. You had a woman. The woman, you were very abusive to the woman. You left the woman. The woman went. The other man came and fall in love with the man. And the woman said, "No, the woman value and stuff." Then you want to force the woman to be in abusive love, in abusive marriage. He said, "We don't want your abusive marriage." So the guy is so funny. The reason why I say it's like Steve, because one day Steve is leaning UP. The other day Steve leaning CDC.
No, I still hold on. I still hold on. No party there.
He still hold on all the party.
I still hold on. The player been leaning what they want. That LP.
That was, just the funniest thing I've been following lately. But Steve, the polity is getting better by the day, by the hours, by the minute. The polity is getting better in Liberia. There are people who are involved in the polity of deception, lies, some intimidation, bullying, confusion. But what differentiates or what set apart SKTV from every other platform? We will joke, we will play, but when it comes to Liberia, we don't joke with it. We will not laugh for anybody. We will not instruct anybody for somebody. We will speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And we will tell anybody the truth and we see you as a problem for Liberia. If anybody poses any threat to the survival or to the peace and unity of our country, we will stand up to you, regardless of who you are. Party, we don't care. Personality, we don't care. Anybody that stands between Liberia and what Liberia deserves, we will stand against you. So, Steve, politics is getting very serious in Liberia, and I think Liberian people are getting to understand. But by the way, the month and today is the 6th, right? We don't even pay our bill here for SKTV, but the people then you will come here, they will come. SKTV, come on! I'll tell you one of them today. Somebody called me today, waking me up. I was trying to take my nap. I said, "Well, what are you calling off for?" He said, "Oh, you're coming on? Why didn't you?" I say, "You leave her alone. We don't even pay our bill. You can't be helpful to pay the bill when you can't." They say when you got 500, 600, 1,000 people watching, when you tell them say it's time to support SKTV, they can't support. So you people, your authority, me, all my thing, and all the things that are happening right now, all the information that we got, I'm going to keep mine. So you and they can go ahead and do your thing. But I think they both say their song.
Yeah, but Mr.
I think you should play that song because normally now, for some reason, normally is the hardest kick right now.
No, they come and get vest.
In the country.
They come and get vest.
Some are insulting her. Some are threatening her. Some are doing very, very bad thing to her. Simply because. Because I said one of my sisters said I'm going to check the cash out was Steve. When I say we check the cash out because all the people then that
the thing about you, sometimes you can just do it away. I told you there are sustainable stakeholder there.
Yeah, President Monk say, you know, that's true because that how you call it that bill paying day today. So we can keep all the information for now, Steve, and the people, you know, help us to pay the bill.
I told you, no. Those foundational stakeholders then I didn't want a real problem.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and they plenty. You know, those foundational stakeholders there, we're done with them. We're done with them. In fact, we'll put a list of foundational stakeholders up by the end of the month. So if you're not regular radio startup, your name will show on the foundational stakeholder. We're not here for that thing. Nobody's to pay here. But anyway,
Anthony Gabby used to be here when we used to have 10, 20 people. Used to be one of
Anthony Gay, a foundational stakeholder. Mr. Don't be scared away. Anthony Gay, foundational stakeholder. My boy.
So rest in peace. Those are my real beginner that used to be on here when nobody was here.
Hey, God. Anthony Gay, a foundational stakeholder. I'm telling you, the man is not a sustainable stakeholder. But anyways, let's move forward. That's my boy, you know. I will call you out for that. But anyways, folks, if you're just joining us, let's share the show. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people. A lot of things to talk about.
I think one of the sisters already sent $50.
Mr. Kane, I know who the sustainable stakeholder. I know who they are not. So let's move fast forward a little bit.
She said she's sending money for the show.
Let's move fast forward. Look at the order.
Pay the bill.
They vote, man. I say vote SKTV. Let's vote them. Vote. Let me tell you, vote B man. Vote B man turn to security for Joseph Parker. Vote B man. I say you turn a ballot man for Joseph Parker. What they be Joseph Parker? That he and the other men with muscle on that position because they got men who on that position. Joseph Parker security.
Yeah. They Morris here. They Morris guy here. That's my brother. That Morris Dollar guy. He been here too from the start. And one picking call. He used to be the leader for the disabled people there in Liberia. He used to be the leader for them. But he became that guy Vel. He resigned from that position. He won't be representative.
But nobody's super here.
Yeah. The man went to Swamaka district. So the man want us to bring him on the show. I said, no problem. So,
yeah, and you get foundational stakeholder then like Lofa Julius then.
But that was a stakeholder.
My sister Degonti. That is foundational stakeholder then. My sister there. My sister Degonti. No. We're not doing family business here. We're not doing no nepotism here. We're not carrying nepotism in SKTV. She is a foundational stakeholder. She's now a sustainable stakeholder. But anyways, folks, let's move into the conversation just as we share the show here. In other news, quickly, I'll just bring this other news because we're incorporated into the conversation. In other news, some of our men in there, they're shifting the blame out from Musa Benedict. They're taking it to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Well, we'll get to that. But in other news, also, there's been a huge debate in the U.S. And when we say y'all can insult us, y'all who support Joseph Human Boakai, there's been some huge debate in the U.S. about the ages of both potential presidential candidates or nominee. Current President Joe Biden, nationally, there's a huge problem. The Americans, we'll bring the stats to you so you can see it, so that you can say, oh, you're criticizing Joseph Parker because of age. Serious-minded countries, serious-minded people do talk about these things because they are essential they are critical, and they are necessary to discuss. So when we say we question the age of Joseph Yuma Boakai, we're not saying it because we hate Joseph Yuma Boakai. We're saying it because these are facts. But we'll get to these stats when we get back. Let's get to the musical break really quick.
So Steve, that musical break should not stay long because people have been waiting for.
No, but can you contact Masa?
The radio or Masa Washington?
Yes. Can you?
The radio gonna come on the top of the hour, maybe 30 minutes from now. The radio will be on.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can get hold of
Masa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Yeah, I sent her the link.
Okay, so just go ahead and play your Bose there, whatever you want to play.
Yeah, I said I challenge you to bring it not behind me. I need to one more party.
Why are you doing that though? Two other sisters there, verse 2. You know.
Sorry.
You come here. You want me to call my sister then?
No. We are in political season.
Master Connor and Orito too. You know, they already sent $50 each. Let's get TV. Yo.
No people that want regular Raja status.
No. Orito then be stay hold up, man. Come on.
Okay.
You're not fair. You're not fair in your judgment. You giving people.
Me, I want dance. I want play my music to dance.
Okay, play the music. Let's go.
Because I want many while they're there. Let's play music to come down. Folks, we'll be right back. Well, folks, we're not, I know many of you say we were dancing. I see my Eden Master watching on the bar there, chilling, she dancing. But I didn't know my own auntie get there, let it go. But all the Master boy dancing here too.
Yeah. You know what?
Hey.
They love that girl you call Love Chili Johnson, right?
Yeah.
She can only be still one of her commies is here. I'll do this up. Yeah. You got to believe on him from the stakeholdership or the thing. Because
so I'm more on him on the stakeholder.
Yeah, more on him from there because we can only see her when coming here. She can only contribute to SKT when coming camp because she want to make sure her leader knows she here. That so we can't take that kind of stakeholder.
Well, folks, we do have our guest here, Master Washington, for this conversation. It's a big conversation, but let's bring Master Washington on, as all of you are aware. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you. Welcome to SKTV.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It is a pleasure being on your show as always. Thank you so much for hosting me, and I do look forward to a wonderful, impactful, and engaging program. Thank you so much. Seku.
Yes.
Hi, Seku. I haven't seen you in a while. How are
I,
you?
I know I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much, Commissioner Massa Washington. First, if you just joining, this is SKTV, and on the show tonight, I'm Sekou Kenneth. We have Steve Woolley, commonly known as Moses. And our guest today is Commissioner Massa Washington of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And she is a stakeholder of Liberia now on SKTV, because we don't know whether she's stakeholder on SKTV yet. But she's a stakeholder when it comes to Liberia and Liberian politics. She understands pretty much everything going on in our country, and she has in-depth information when it comes to our war. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was created to find out as to what actually happened. How did we get involved with this war? What were some of the contributing factors that led to the war in Liberia? Then when they found out what happened, they invited all the actors, they invited all the victims, they talked to most of the actors, if not all of them, and they ascertained the facts as to what really happened, who did what, including all the actors. And she had all the information available to her. So when we learned that one of the major actors in the Liberian Civil War that brought about the death of close to 250,000 people, we contacted her, we contacted other stakeholders in the country to come out and give their perspective as to what they know and what really happened. And having any of those people close to power in Liberia, what would that mean for Liberia? Where are we headed as a country? Today, we have a lot of information to share with you, but we're going to reserve some of our information because I know most of you here to hear a lot of good news or bad news or what have you. However, before we go to Commissioner Massa Washington, I want to say this to all of you. As we speak, the politics is getting dirty. It's getting very much interesting. But one thing that I know for sure, since the announcement of Jeremiah Combs / Prince Johnson being the running mate of Joseph Nima Boakai, there has been a lot of movement. And there's been a lot of concern, not only in the Liberian society, not only in the Liberian community, but to the international community and everybody that have contributed or that contributed to bringing peace in Liberia. So everybody is concerned. People want to know what is going on. As a matter of fact, some of the negotiations that are going on right now in Liberia, there are other people, not only leaders within the country, but leaders in the sub-region are all getting involved. You don't know, we're telling you right now. That's why people who thought, after making that announcement, that they thought that everything is finished, that Joseph Boakai will be president tomorrow, the reason why they are jittering, the reason why they are confused and discombobulated is because the leaders in the region, not only Liberia, I must add, people are having conversation. They are afraid. They know peace in Liberia will mean peace in the sub-region. They know any sense of this destabilization of Liberia will destabilize the entire sub-region. So people are concerned who become leader in our country, like what we are concerned who become leader in other countries. So everybody from Marine River Union to ECOWAS to OAU to the international community, including the United States of America, they are all concerned about what happened in Liberia. So the announcement of Jeremiah Combs / Prince Johnson to be the leader of our country, or somehow de facto president, Prince Johnson, under Boakai leadership, kind of rose a lot of eyebrows. People are concerned. So we too we were concerned. That's why we reached out to Commissioner Master Washington to come and talk to us a little bit and the Liberian people. There are a lot of news we're going to break to you. We're going to break a lot of news to you, but we're going to go to the commissioner first to tell us exactly who is this Prince Johnson and what was his role in Liberia and what it would mean for Liberia seeing Prince Johnson as a de facto prime minister or if not president of our country, because we know very well Prince Johnson controls Jeremiah Kun. Prince Johnson now projecting himself as the spokesperson, the mouthpiece for Joseph Nima Boakai. He will preempt his action. He will speak first, the Boakai will speak later. So given everything going on right now, who is Prince Johnson? Who is Prince Johnson?
Thank you.
Commissioner Massa. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Sekou. Thank you very much for the opportunity again to be on your platform. I would just start by giving a little analogy, and I hope that people don't misinterpret it. It's an analogy. Okay. When I say we, those of us from the human rights community, this vice presidential pick that former Vice President Ambassador Joseph Boyka has done is very concerning to us for some of the very reasons that Sekou has outlined already here this evening. And we've been looking at the pros and cons. What does this portend for Liberia? Why was this choice made? What's going on with Ambassador Boyka and all of that? And I will tell you straight, I work with the International Consortium of International Human Rights Organization that's pushing for the implementation of the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the TRC's report and recommendation. And one of those recommendations is the recommendation for the establishment of a war crimes code for Liberia to hold people who are named in the report accountable for the violations of gross human rights that have taken place in Liberia. And, I'm not going to bite my tongue. Usually I don't say these things, but I will say I've done my report already. I've submitted my report because I was asked by international partners to give them a perspective on this whole VP Boyka pick and like I said, what it portends for Liberia. So I've done my report. I've sent it in already, and we're not happy about it because we think this is an epic error that the VP has made. Again, we're trying to understand what's behind his decision. We know that, again, I'm not going to concern myself so much with Mr. Jeremiah Kun, because as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Kun is a clone of Prince Johnson. He's a mentee of Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson has already said he can get Mr. Kun to do anything he wants. So we are looking at this vice presidential pick as actually picking Prince Johnson. It's Prince Johnson party. He calls a shot in his party. This guy is Prince Johnson a mentee, and so the pick is actually Prince Johnson, a de facto Prince Johnson. So when you have the octopus, when you have to deal with the octopus, the octopus has several tentacles. You don't waste your time dealing with the tentacles of the octopus. You go straight to the head. You bruise the head of the octopus. That's how you incapacitate the octopus. You don't waste your time with tentacles, because once you bruise the head of the octopus, because the head has the brain, and the brain is the functional, is the machine of the body. It's like the generator of the body. Once you bruise the head of the octopus, you bruise the head of the octopus, the tentacles tend to die away by themselves. So I see people like Mr. Jeremiah Kun and the rest of the diehard supporters of Prince Johnson at the tentacles of the octopus, and I see Mr. Prince Johnson as the octopus. So we just go straight for the head, So I will start by giving a little background on what we know Mr. Prince Johnson to be, because this is a Prince Johnson issue, not necessarily Jeremiah Kun. And but first, I will start by saying the Liberian society is one that is void of important and major standards of morality. We must bring morality back in our society. And morality is not necessarily mean that you have to be a holy person, you have to be a perfect person. It's simply bringing back those standards, principles, and values that make a society decent and safe for everybody. Those values and standards of fairness, honesty, empathy, hard work, truthfulness, regardless of what, unity, reconciliation, and peace. And then, of course, accountability. So let's go into, Prince Johnson, let's dissect a vice president broadcast a ticket. Let's dissect the people behind it. So I will start with, you all know that Prince Johnson is one of the major warlords of Liberia. He fought the war, and Prince Johnson settled on the Caldwell base for the, bigger portion of the First War. And a lot of things happened there. We have a long list of his victims, people that he allegedly killed. I would say alleged because he's, hopefully he's going to go to court. But some of these murders were witnessed by some of the people, and we've spoken to them. There's a name called Emmanuel Kuyan. He's one of Prince Johnson's victims. He was murdered at the Caldwell Bridge. Of course, Tecumseh Rawa was murdered by Samuel Vining, who was the second in command to Prince Johnson, in command to Prince Johnson, but Prince Johnson was there. In fact, Prince Johnson incited that murder. They teased Mr. Tecumseh Rawa of being gay. They pulled his pants down, and Samuel Vining shot him. When Prince Johnson came to the TRC to testify, and we were concerned, we asked, why was Mr. Tecumseh Rawa murdered? He said Tecumseh Rawa was murdered because he was gay, and he wanted to support his boys on the base. So Prince Johnson, in other words, is saying that yes, we murdered this guy because he has a lifestyle that is different from us. And then of course Michael Doe. If some of you have heard of Michael Doe, or if you didn't, Michael Doe was not, a military person. He was not fighting the war. Michael Doe was the security manager at Hotel Africa. And when Prince Johnson INPF were captured across the bridge, they were trapped there. So Prince Johnson, when he was trying to get the money from the safe, Michael Doe said he didn't have access to the safe. He didn't have the money. Cut a long story short, Prince Johnson told him, Michael Doe, say your last prayer. And according to our sources, reliable sources who were there, he told the guy, say your last prayer, took his gun, put it to the guard temple and blew it, and pushed the guy's body from, I think it was from the 5th floor all the way down, hitting the staircase. Michael Doe. Michael Doe's sister, her name is Clara Doe Mvogo. She works for the United Nations. 3 years ago, she made a compassionate appeal to Mr. Prince Johnson on Facebook. And Sekou, if you don't have it after this show, when I have access to my computer, my email, because I save it, I can send it to you in Moses. Michael Doe's sister wrote a letter, an open letter to Prince Johnson, recounting the murder of her brother. And then also, she said to Prince Johnson, we forgave you, but we want justice. Please stop blocking the TRC and the War Crimes Court at the Senate. Please agree for the War Crimes Court. Go there and explain yourself. Another prominent Liberian, very peaceful guy called Rufus Berry. Rufus also came out on his Facebook page. I have that information too. I save it. Rufus Berry came out on his Facebook page and recounted how Prince Johnson murdered his brother and his nephew. And in that open letter to Prince Johnson, Rufus also said, I forgave you, but I want justice for my people. Prince Johnson, please agree for the War Crimes Court. And we know Prince Johnson also murdered Eric Scott. Eric Scott was a journalist and a diplomat. He had worked at the Liberian embassy in Washington, D.C. as embassy personnel. During the war, he was allegedly captured by Prince Johnson and was shot and killed. And then, of course, we have this infamous video of Mrs. Wata Allison, a civilian. On this video, you can see Prince Johnson is asking her question about the incident at the University of Liberia on the, I think it was the 24th of August, when students were killed. And she said she didn't know about it. She was sick at the time. And you saw the slap. Prince Johnson abused this woman. He slapped her so hard, her glasses fell off her face. And then he ordered one of his female fighters to go and get rid of her. For a woman like Mrs. Allison, she was city mayor of Carwell. She was shot and killed, and her body was thrown over in the breach. I'm not going into the gory detail of that for respect to our audience. And then also Tillman Gardner, he was murdered by Prince Johnson. Sam Tody, who was the National Housing Authority deputy manager, he was a civilian. What I know of him is that we knew him, our family knew him as kids. He used to play the guitar. He loved playing the guitar. He was a very nice guy, quiet, very peaceful guy. You know, he was killed only because he was crunk. And of course, General Bremer Barkley, one of the most peaceful person you will know, was killed across the bridge at the Freeport of Monrovia by the Charles Taylor, by Prince Johnson. And there's a guy called Desmond Judo. He's on Facebook. Desmond came out one day and narrated how he was across the bridge. He was there along with other people who they were just going about their business. Prince Johnson pulled up in a convoy. He came out erratically, yelling, making noise, and in the process, he shot and killed 8 market women. He accused them of looting. He said these women have gone and looted, and so he had killed them. So, but I will stop here for now, and just so you know that Prince Johnson is listed in the TRC report on the persecution listing. He has a star to his name as the most notorious perpetrator. So Prince Johnson is listed in a report of the TRC on the accountability or war crimes listing as the most notorious perpetrator. So I just wanted to give the Liberian people some background. Then finally, Prince Johnson is in trouble with the Americans. A few years ago, we had some American investigators in Liberia investigating the murder of their citizen. Some of you might have heard that there was this American woman, white, called Linda Jury, but she joined this charismatic Christian group called Hare Krishna. They used to dress, eccentrically. Prince Johnson murdered 5 of them, and she was one of those. And the Americans have been investigating, they've done some investigation concerning that. So besides all these murders, some of whom I've stated, and then some of which, other people got other stories, Prince Johnson was also a serial rapist. I use the word serial rapist because we spoke to some women in our process who told us that Prince Johnson had raped them. And we know that Prince Johnson had on his Carwell base more than 20 women that he had snatched from different areas in Monrovia and different areas in the suburbs of Monrovia. And he had them on his base as his quote unquote women / I call them sex slaves. When Prince Johnson came to the TRC, because I was the commissioner for gender and I worked, very closely with women, I asked him about these women. I said, you had these women on your base. And he said they were fighters. And I said, no, sir, because Prince Johnson and the rest of them don't know. I worked as a journalist. I covered Prince Johnson base. I went on Prince Johnson base 3 different times. One of those times he called a press conference and journalists were there. I was one of the journalists who was there. And so we saw things and we heard things. So when he came to the TRC, I said to him, what's about all these women that you had on your base and you were sexually abusing them? And he started getting annoyed with me. And he said, they were my soldier. He said, I didn't have women on the base. They were my soldiers. And I said, no, sir. Besides the soldiers' girls, your rebel girls who were with you, you had some civilian women on the base, different ages. Some of them were underage girls. So what was going on? and he said, I was married to them. And he actually got upset. If you watch that tape, he said, we're talking about peace, we're talking about reconciliation, then you're talking, and he got upset with me. And he said, in fact, they were all my women, I was married to them. And I said, what proof do you have of the marriage to all these women? But I asked him those questions because I knew then, because I had spoken to some of these people when I was a journalist, and then on the TRC, we did thorough investigation. So this is the man whose political party that Ambassador Joseph Boyka has selected to be his vice presidential running mate. Besides that, he had child soldiers. There's a popular picture with him with one kid who was his child soldier, but there were several of them. And I must state here fairly that Prince Johnson was not the only one who dabbled in the issue of child soldiers. In fact, all of the factions, all of the warlords, they all had child soldiers. But I'm just trying to say that Prince Johnson also had child soldiers, and we know it is against the Convention of the Rights of the Child. Okay? Now, so when you have someone like this with these kinds of questionable characteristics, someone who people are pushing to go to a war crimes court to explain himself, maybe exonerate himself, or maybe explain why some of these things happen at his hands and some of them under his watch. So when you have people like me who are advocating for justice and accountability, and when you see the vice president whom everybody has, the former vice president Boyka, whom everybody has respected, I have respected the old man. We have liked him as a person. He's the opinion leader. He's elderly, our culture, we respect our elders and everything. But when he's made a decision like this, to literally give the vice presidency of the Republic of Liberia to a character such as Prince Johnson, then even people like us who supported the vice president before, former vice president before, we want to step back and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's about us? Did he think about us when he was making this decision? Did he think about how it's going to affect people who have suffered at the hands of Prince Johnson and his, and his rebel forces? So, and then also, I'm sure you have questions for me, but we'll go into, I want us, Sekou, to also look at this, I call it now, hype-up myth of Prince Johnson being the kingmaker for Nimba County. Yes, in 2005, Prince Johnson was the kingmaker for Nimba County. He was the undisputed, lover boy of Nimba County. The people love him. Majority of the people in Nimba County think that Prince Johnson is the hero. He felt that he fought for them. He saved them from, Samuel Doe. So you can easily understand, people who were suppressed by the previous administration, you can easily understand why they would think Prince Johnson was the hero. But that was in 2005, 2006. In early second term, okay, 2000 and early second term, yes.
2011.
Yeah, 2011. Yes, he was a factor, not as big a factor as 2006, but he was a factor. So yeah, he did have some numbers. 2017, you could see where he began to be embattled. Things were slipping, out of his hands. So even though he won Nimba County, by the way, Nimba County was the only county out of 15 counties in Liberia that Prince Johnson won, that he was popular in. But go back and look at the stats, which I have done, and I will share with you guys here tonight. Go back and look at the stats and review and trace Prince Johnson's popularity in Nimba County from 2017 until now. It's been 6 years. Things are definitely not the same. A lot of things have happened. Population shift, or loyalties have shifted. New parties have sprung up. He has stiff opposition amongst some decent citizens of Nimba County. They want Prince Johnson off. So Prince Johnson has his hands around the neck of Nimba County in the chokehold. These decent citizens of Nimba County want Prince Johnson to relinquish the chokehold of the county because they want to shred and shared that stigma and that stereotype that people tend to say, oh, Nema County, people there, that rebel. That's not true. So these illustrious sons and daughters of Nema County are working very hard to, to rebrand the county and get away from that. Nema County is a great county. It's produced before the war. She was, I think, the second breadbasket, in Liberia next to Lofa County. She's produced some of the most educated Liberians. I know a lot of people from Nema that I'm close to. They are decent people. So they want the county to be unshackled. They want the county out of this chokehold Prince Johnson has his hands on the neck of Nema County like this. So things have changed, dynamics have changed. The people are beginning to be more enlightened. They're beginning to understand more why having Prince Johnson as the face of the county is not good for the county at all. So, and there's so many other dynamics. Prince Johnson, has fallen out epically with some of his own colleagues. Like, it was a couple of months ago, some special forces who actually fought the war with Prince Johnson, they've broken away from him. They sent him warning to leave the county alone. They're not going to support him. You have several youth groups in Nema County that don't want Prince Johnson. You have the Gonglo factor. The Gonglos are very popular in Nema County. Tier 1 Gonglo, their father was a school teacher. Everybody knows Teacher Gonglo. His sister, Edith Gonglo, was a superintendent. And she also ran in the 2020 elections for the senatorial seat as well. So you have all these factors now that have shifted the numbers. So people are still thinking that Prince Johnson has these numbers, and I'm saying, after I went back and looked at the stats, I uncovered some shocking statistics that for me now is like, well, I'm not going to completely dismiss Prince Johnson in Nema County, but I would think that at this time, the status that Prince Johnson continued to enjoy as the godfather of Nema County, as the owner of Nema County, is no longer the same. It is all hyped up at this time. That immense popularity for me now is a hyper one, and we will go to it, when we get there. But I just want you guys to give me some time when we get there to go back into the 2017 stats, look at the current 2002 census, and let's see exactly where Prince Johnson is in terms of Nema County. You guys would be surprised that even Alexander Cummings, who people did not want to vote for 2017, they said he was a new man on the block, he was JJC, he was now Liberia, nobody wants to vote for him. Alexander Cummings got votes in every single county, in every 15 counties, Alexander Cummings got votes. Prince Johnson did not get votes in 3 counties in 2017. Liberians don't know this. 3 counties did not vote for Prince Johnson. He was on no-show in these counties.
Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner Massa Washington. Folks, if you just joining on, this is SKTV. That was so much revelation. And I want to say this. Before I ask you, Commissioner Massa, we have a audio here. You mentioned a lot of killings by Prince Johnson when he was in arms, when he was a rebel leader. But on this audio, Prince Johnson is confessing that anybody try him, they die. And I'm going to play that audio for you to listen to it. Somebody who is admitting. Because when you say this person try me, they die, this person try me, they die, this person try me, they die, other person try me, they cripple. Admitting that you're killing people who try you. I'm going to play that audio. And after that audio, I want you to respond to this question. You said you have already submitted your report to the international partners. Do you mean after the announcement of Joseph Boakai that he running mate is Prince Johnson handpicked, or Prince Johnson's bad boy, Prince Johnson, control person to be the running mate of Joseph Boakai, That's when you have also submitted the report of as to who Prince Johnson is, some of the things has done in Liberia to the international community, so they can know exactly who Buckeye picked. Is that what you're saying? So I'm going to play I'm going to play the video, the audio, and then you can respond.
I come to the country to tell people, I suppose you know, principally, who in my party, I have not come to the country to tell people, I suppose you know, principally, I tell you this, to be too damn President good, we elected Jeremiah in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Group, for example? Why does he want to contest against anybody, for example? You don't know me telling me I'm a principle-minded person. So I told people that go over the money you're not ski because he raise a mean temperature coach here. Any minister that come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be burning my great, do a burning of my own soup. So you are on Saturday, you fight me, you fall. My grandmother will try it down. When John will try it down. When they try it down. When John will try it cripple. Yes, brother. I have a power of God.
So he said, anybody trying you fall? And he named people. Those people are Nimbayan too. They have family, they have relatives, they have extended family. He's admitting that he killed those people. Anybody try him, you fall. This person try me, he died. The other person try me, he died. The other person try me, he died. The other person try me, he crippled. Admitting this is no gun, because other happened when he had gun in his hand. And now he's telling the world that I killed those people when they tried me. And the one I didn't kill, I crippled him. Giving that threat. Giving a threat that this man poses to Liberia. Having this man in the executive mansion with his boy, what would that mean for Liberia?
Shocking revelation, Sekou, isn't it? I mean, to hear someone who is a sitting senator, and don't forget, I think maybe just 2 years ago, Prince Johnson was actually the Senate chairperson on security. Mm-hmm. So in other words, the security of the state was actually in the hands of Prince Johnson. You know, it's like trusting your banana grove to a troop of monkeys. You know, so Prince Johnson, the Americans had to, tell him, my man, you got to get off that security committee. That's how he relinquished that position. So to hear a sitting senator in this time and era of human rights, the guns are silenced, like you said, speak that way, to be so audacious, so callous, it speaks for the failure of our society, the failure of Liberians to address post-conflict issues and address them properly and holistically, especially the issue of accountability and justice that actually border around the issue of national security for everybody. Because if Prince Johnson is brave to actually come out and boast and say all these things and bully people like me, he will go to his church, preach on me, call other commissioners' name. He bullies his colleagues in the Senate, like poor Senator Darius Dillon. Senator Dillon, even when they're discussing, he cannot even just look that way and look at Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson bullies him, he threatens him, why Dillon, why are you looking at me? When they talk about war crimes code. So Prince Johnson is audacious enough to behave this way is because of the society that we have. Our society has been lackadaisical to do anything to bring to account and to book those individuals who have decimated the society in terms of the gross violations of human rights. And it's how long has the war been over? Forever and ever. Yet nothing has happened to Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is one of the richest people in the country. He's a millionaire and he continues to live his life of opulence, and his victims, people who he's also victimized, the live the life as as rejects and acute poverty. So because there has been no accountability for what has happened in Liberia, so Prince Johnson thinks that everybody's afraid of him. Either he thinks that everybody's afraid of him, so he will continue to make those kinds of threats because nothing is happening, or he really thinks that Liberians are so stupid and we are so nonchalant that we don't care about our own safety and even the safety of our families and the future of our children. So Prince Johnson is simply just drawing strength. From his ethnic community, he's falling
I want to
on the
interrupt you.
sympathy of his ethnic community. And
I want to interrupt you for a second before I go to Steve here. The report you submitted to the international community, do you think that will have an impact as to how the international community and the United States will look at Liberia if and when Walker is elected, or that way that they will even preempt some things in Liberia to avoid Liberia going back to the dark days? Do you think the international community will add on the report and other information that have been provided to them by other people, and they are watching some of these shows? Some people also sending these kind of video or the recording by Prince Johnson, to the international community and the United States of America. Do you think this will have an impact on the election, before the election or after the election in Liberia?
Well, it can only have a positive impact on Liberia and her future, because the report is not against Liberia. The report is not calling for sanction on Liberia. In fact, it was just a small report. A couple of them have called me and asked me my opinion and has said, do you think you can put something down on paper for us? So the report is not against Liberia. The report is not calling for sanction on Liberia. The report is specifically dealing with this current issue that we're discussing. The report is simply saying, boycott, Vice President Boycott, former Vice President Boycott has made his decision. These are the people that he's chosen as his running mate. This is the man who created the party. This is the man who's behind the party. The young man that VP Boycott has picked, that guy is his godfather. The guy is his benefactor. The guy is his mentor. And the guy, actually, he's going to be, Boycott wins the election, Prince Johnson, we all know he's going to be the de facto vice president, because Kuhn has made it clear that he listens to Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is his puppet. So the report was simply saying, this is a situation. The former vice president has made his decision. These are the people that he's chosen. This is the party that he's chosen. This is the man that's behind, the person that he's chosen. And then I gave my personal opinion and perspective. I'm like, I think this guy will be running the show when, a VP Boycott wins the elections. And then my recommendations as to what I think the international partners can help us to do. It was also a passionate plea that, listen, you sanctioned this individual. You've been watching him, but all these things are happening. Please, we need you all to do a little bit more, because sanction does not seem to be working. Well, it works in a way, but people try to be brave to put up this bravado that they don't care, nothing happens. So I'm like, please, you need to do more. You need to do a little more to help us unshackle our country, to help us free our country. So it was a short report. It was just basically saying, these are the people he's chosen. These are the eminent potential danger. This is what I think it portends for the future of Liberia if they should win the election. And this is what I think is happening. And of course, I provided some recommendations. So this report actually is in the interest of Liberia. And you asked the part two to that question, Siku, you said, if the boycott ticket wins the elections, what do we think happening at this point in time? You can basically guess. Prince Johnson and the rest of them, they're going to go amok, because already when the former Vice President Boyka announced his VP pick on last Friday, Prince Johnson has been making the round of the media, insulting Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, boasting, and just behaving erratically all over the place. This is only a vice presidential pick. They have not even gone into the elections itself. So imagine if Prince Johnson party wins the election and wins the vice presidency, Liberia will be in trouble. And so I was trying to draw the parallel so that the international partners can understand why people like me are concerned about this pick. Now, I would say, we don't know 100. We have heard some of why former Vice President Joseph Boyka made the decision. He has also said one or two things himself, generally publicly, but we're hearing some background and backdoor reasons as to why he did. But I will tell you, as someone coming from civil society, this is an epic failure. This is one of the worst decisions that I've ever seen any individual make, who is supposed to be educated, who is supposed to be from civil society, who is supposed to be that wise old owl in the room. This is one of the biggest failure in terms of this decision I've seen. So he's made an epic mistake. VP Boyka made an epic mistake.
Thank you.
And the sad thing about this is that it's going to impact everybody else, including you and me.
Thank you so much. Steve, I'll go to Steve, but I'm not sure if Steve have a lot of questions for you, but we have a lot of other things here we got to talk about. And on the other side, because we already spent the first 1 hour on this Prince Johnson and other things in the crimes committed by Prince Johnson and other people, we have some information to share with our audience when it comes to this whole VP pick. We have the issue of Yomli Kanga Lawrence, that people thought Boyka was supposed to pick, and she was not picked. Now, Kumis and the CPP are going after her to bring her as a VP pick for the CPP. So we have some development that we want to talk about. But I want to go to Steve first. Like maybe Steve, I want 2 questions for the commissioner. We will now stay long on that one right now because most of the people are here. They want to know what is going on currently. And, what you just talk about is very, very important. It's also one of the major driving factors for which people are gravitating towards Yomli. People are afraid, people are scared that this should not happen. Liberians from all walks of life, including women and leaders in Liberia and outside of Liberia. So, Steve, we'll go to you there. After that, we can jump into the conversation about what's going on right now as far as CPP and Liberty Party issue is concerned.
Most definitely, we will. We'll ask you just 1 or 2 questions so we can pivot or change the conversation really quick. But happy Mother's Day in advance as we look forward to celebrating the Mother's Day. Either some will celebrate it tomorrow, other group might celebrate it May 14th, and then maybe the rest of the month of May. But happy Mother's Day to you and to every other mother following from around the world today. We want to say happy Mother's Day. I want to pick your brain on something concerning Jose Yuman Boyka, because like you said earlier, your concern is not necessarily with Jose Yuman Boyka, and I'm paraphrasing this, Vice President Jose Yuman Boyka, but rather having Prince Johnson close to the mansion or in a mansion or power of authority in our country, especially the presidency, by extension through Jeremiah Kuhn. Let me bring this to the public quick, and I'll ask you this question. Most recently, there was a poll conducted here in the United States. It was published on the 23rd of April. And here's the headline. This is where it reads: huge majority of Americans oppose Biden running again, citing one major factor. Here is it. According to the told a survey from NBC News, 70% of Americans, including 51% of Democrats, do not think Biden should run for re-election, with 26% supporting him. Almost half of the respondents who voted no cited Biden's age as their major concern. Here is my question to you. Given Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakar's age, his medical condition that he said publicly to the world, do you think Liberians are taking or betting or taking a risky risk by electing Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakar, if possible by extension, electing Prince Johnson to becoming the next president?
First, let me say, Moses, that the decision to contest public office by anybody is a private one. It's a personal one. That person has the right to contest, for any position once they meet the constitutional requirements of that country that they're contesting for. Now, concerning Boakar's age, concerning his health matters and all of that, I like to be respectful to people. I do not like to discuss people's health matters, their finances, their families, because I think certain lines we shouldn't cross. But because of VP Boycott is a public figure, so you might say it's fair game, right? So until now, I'm not even sure what form of VP Boycott's actual age is. His age seems to still be in dispute. Is he 76, 77 years old? Is he 80? Is he 81 years old? So we don't have one age for him. And also it is Boycott who would determine whether he's too old, whether he's too frail to pull this off. And what are the other two factors that would determine whether a Boycott will pull this off, or whether he will drop off from the race, or whether he will continue? The Liberian people through their votes, and then also the country's condition, the campaigning. Because I'm telling you, a country like Liberia is not the United States where you have all the interstate, all the highway, everything. To reach all those people, all those places where Boycott needs the votes, you see the roads and whatsoever. The wear and tear on the body of any candidate will tell you whether you need to be in that race or not. Hopefully some of them will make it to the end, because people might get very sick. And if you have already pre-existing health issues, you might want to consider the country condition, road condition, the topography of the country, the stress, and all of that. And then also the Liberian people will determine, if a VP Boycott if they think he's too old, they will make it known. That is, if he found out if he campaigns successfully and finally goes to cast his vote for himself, the voters through their vote will decide whether, yes, he's too old, we want him, or we don't want him. So I don't think that's a decision that someone like me should sit down and make. But let me just say this just very briefly. Sekou, you mentioned the Yompli Kanga situation. I just want to say here, not only as a female, but also as an opinion leader, Yompli is just one of two female senators in the legislature. And with the way she was treated, you can see the patriarchy system in place, and you can also see and detect misogyny. So Prince Johnson comes after her in the most vile of manners. He tried to brand her as someone who is temperamental. Or Boycott did not choose her because he says she's temperamental, or she splashed tea on Sir Joseph in the House of Senate once. Oh my God, isn't this interesting to see the most erratic person, former U.S. Secretary of State, Under Secretary of State, Herman Cohen, when he came to testify at the TRC hearings in Minnesota, he described Prince Johnson as an erratic individual who was under the influence of drugs. So even your international partners are describing you as being erratic. We saw what you did with what's her name
No.
with Mrs. Gray. I mean
What are
Mrs. Allison, what are Allison? One minute you're questioning her, she's trying to answer. Next minute we see your hand flying across the table, slapping her so hard her glasses fell off her face. And this is a Liberian woman that you did this. So imagine this kind of person. You bully all your colleagues in at the legislature. You bully other people. I bet you when I leave this show today, Prince Johnson will preach on me in his church tomorrow, and next week he will be on me the whole while. But I've calculated the risk. Okay, so you have someone who is extremely erratic. Your international, colleagues, they know you're erratic. They're describing you, and we're seeing all of these things. But then here you are attacking a female and trying to brand her as being temperamental, because you know what? That's in the patriarchy system. Youngly is a young, educated female. Is the old boys club. She's the only one who's there, been trying to hold her place at the table. So it's like, who is this little girl that she got to be measuring arm to us and all of that. So they treated her, perhaps using unconscious bias. They treated her like they were dealing with their daughter or their staff, failing to realize that no, she's your colleague. She's actually your colleague. She's a political leader of her own party. She's a second term a senator, so she's held her place. But you saw how they treated her. It is my understanding that Joseph Boyka, when he met with her, in fact, all of them are going up there to talk to Youngly, to try to encourage her, to support them. The Gonglo team was there. I understand Gonglo, his sister, were there. I understand Mr. Cummings and his wife were there. Very respectfully. I understand BP Boyka was there, and everybody else is going there. So you see how God does things. Now, Youngly, who was supposed to be the ugly duckling, has now turned into the beautiful swine. And guess what? She seems more like the kingmaker to me. Youngly is now the de facto kingmaker, but that's what God does. That's what he does. So everybody is ganging up against this young female. Okay, she's young. They're all older than her. They are male. She's female. So they thought they could bully her. But look where it is today. Look where it is today. So Youngly is going to end up being the kingmaker, not Prince Johnson.
So let me squeeze in this last question, and we can pivot here really quick, because you've made an interesting point on SKTV. We have stated, we have predicted, we're on the record here for saying that the path to the presidency is through the Liberty Party. We've said that, we've stuck with that, and we believe that's what we believe based on all of our calculations, all of our findings, and so forth. But let's move fast forward to this last question, because keeping in terms with the Youngly issue, we want to stick with the Youngly factor here, because this is very important. And you made some very good point here about the misogyny and how they play the guy's card or whatever it is. I like that assertion, and I believe to some extent they also play in it. Just before I ask you this question, I wanted to refute and clarify something to the public. I heard Prince Johnson saying that he was never sanctioned under the Magnitsky Act. Rather, he was sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department. He compared himself to the cases of Nathaniel McGill, Serena Seaforth, and Bill Twaway. The truth of the matter is this, Liberians. Please listen. Prince Johnson was sanctioned under the Magnitsky Act. It's not debatable. That's not something for us to debate. It's the fact. Because when you read a sanction document, this is what it says. U.S. Treasury sanctioned Prince Johnson under Global Magnitsky Acts. Maybe he forgot to read that part and he tried to lie to the Liberian people, but it's clear today that he is sanctioned under the Magnitsky Act. But here is my question to you. Before I ask you this question, Madam Massa Washington, I want to read this short thing from this act or this sanction. This is what it says, quote, as Senator, Johnson has been involved in pay-for-play funding with government ministries and organizations for personal enrichment. Here's my question to you. At any point, do you believe that the Austin, the undermining, the disrespecting, the disgraced, the push out of Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, who was seen more alike as the de facto vice president to Joseph Yuma Boakai within the CPP, and when they left the CPP, do you think at any point there was any pay to play?
Well, I wouldn't like to to speculate. You know, we are trained media persons. Don't forget, I have my bachelor's in journalism, and so I wouldn't want to speculate. But considering the character of the individual, we're talking about Prince Johnson, right? Considering the individual and considering his younger dude way of doing things, meaning that, you know, he cares less, I would not be surprised. But then again, I do not want to be disrespectful to former Vice President Boyka, because I don't have any facts. I don't have any evidence that pay to play happened here. We can only speculate, and again, I do not want to speculate. I'm a professional person. I prize the truth very, very hard. If I had any, yeah, it's crossed our minds. Let me just say that it's crossed our minds. But then you don't bring it out to the public as fact when you don't know for sure. So I would say, well, we have wondered, well, did pay for play take place? Is it possible? Because this guy, we know over the years, he had been selling his party and had been selling, you know, political slots in his party. So is it possible? Well, you will say, based upon history, you say, well, it's possible for something like that to happen. But then we don't really want to run with that theory, because we don't have any facts, we don't have any evidence. So I would say, well, I'm not sure. I thought about it, but again, maybe it was just a fleeting thought. You know, I'm not sure. I really don't know.
But based on also the facts that we have, just before Sekou comes in, based on also the facts that we have, this is for the public. This is concerning, considering you have now won elections. You are not in power to make decisions. The audacity to even offer Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence the pro tem after you've ousted her. The audacity to even offer her ministrates on top of these things speaks volume of the mindset of Joseph Yuma Boakai and Prince Johnson and the entire team, because this is, to some extent, whether you like it or not, it could be considered pay for play. But Sekou, is up to you. Let's. This is very interesting. But let's get to it.
Steve, thank you so much. Thank you. To pick up where you just stopped. You know, I listened to one of the propaganda missionaries of the UP saying, even thinking that it was a good thing that Yomli was offered a position to be campaign manager. Can you imagine? Isn't that insulting? This person supposed to be your VP. This person gave everything, 110% to you with nothing. You gave her nothing, but she did that for you. You went ahead, you stabbed her in the back. But then tell her you are not good enough. You are not strong enough. You don't have money. And alienating women in this decision making. But then you tell her you are not good to campaign for Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kum. We didn't take you. You listen to this. We did not take you because you're not good enough.
Right.
To be a leader. I mean, when I listened to this person making this comment yesterday, thinking, oh, this is a big deal. They presented for her to her. She should take the deal. Someone else was saying, yeah, let her take it. That's very insulting and disrespectful to her, I believe. But to bring our people up to speed to where we are right now, We have a lot going on. Few days ago, after when Mr. Cummings went to Grand Bassa, but we told you that before Mr. Cummings going to Grand Bassa, there were a lot of other people that went there. They include Tiawan Gonglo, the Liberian government, Joseph Nima Boakai, all those went there before Mr. Cummings went there. And when Mr. Cummings went to Buchanan, they talked. And he was very straight, tell her exactly what he wanted. He wanted her to be his running mate. The only concern was about uniting her party first. That she wanted to talk to her party people. Nyomli did not say no, I don't want to be. But her concern was her party unity. Out of that, Nyomli called Musa as chairman of the party. Cummings reached out to me to be his running mate. We have a party. What say you? Musa said, this is not me and our conversation. This should be a party conversation. Send people, come with few people. I will come with few people from the executive committee. Let's sit and have a conversation. Then when they sat down, Nyomli did not attend, which was calculated, and she meant to do that because she didn't want to be in the midst of all those men because they will attack each other, they will do X, Y, and Z because it started right before her in Buchanan. So when they had a meeting, some people were speculating the very day of the meeting that the meeting lasted for 1 minute, 16 seconds. The next day, they say it was a little over 2 minutes. The next day, they say it was a little less than 2 minutes. So I mean, even somebody with no sense, somebody with mud in their brain, will know that all those people that we mentioned, more than 13 gentlemen, leaders, will sit down and talk for only 1 minute and then disperse. When you listen to some of these people, the way they lie, the way they lie with confidence, it scares me. In as much as I don't like to attack other people who are media practitioners, who also, have similar platform like us, I don't like to attack people, but I let people to treat Liberia fairly. I let people to be fair and honest to the Liberian people. So when we come here, we present to you the fact of the matter, exactly what happened. So when that happened, given what had happened to Nyomli, the people went and Mr. Cummings presented, Nyomli person, Jacob Smith, who led Nyomli Una group, presented the case, tell Musa Ability and executive committee what Cummings told them. Musa Ability and other people, they said, we welcome it. That means Liberty Party as a group, as a unit, collectively, they have agreed. So people who is going around, oh, Nyomli agree, Nyomli not agree, they don't know. The reason why, in fact, they had that meeting because Nyomli agreed. She wants to be, but she doesn't want to go alone. She wants to go with her party. So Nyomli decided to get her party involved, and the party responded resoundingly, yes. The party said yes, they want it. The only concern they had, the only problem they had in that particular first meeting was that Musa was concerned, given everything they went through, that this shouldn't be about political leadership or what have you. Anybody coming stake within their party is free to go to run under committees, because Liberia Constitution does not limit people of participation. And there's no portion of the Constitution that suggests that you must be a political leader or standard bearer of a particular party to be a running mate. Somebody can take Seku right now, and maybe can take Basa Washington and make her running mate, even she does not belong to any party. So that was Musa's concern. And they agreed that the most important thing we came here for was to let you guys know whether you guys will also accept or you are on board of Yombly going as running mate to Komis. And they say yes. Resoundingly yes. Musa, Belete, and the executive committee, they say they agree. They disperse. Now, the concern raised with regards to her leadership as a political leader of the party, something that has been in court for many months now, that was the turning point. So people start to reach out. People call me Seku, Steve, and other people in the country, around the country, even outside of Liberia. People call everybody. You people that may know Musa, you people that may be friendly with Musa, this is a chance for Liberia to change. This woman was treated badly by Joseph Jima Boakai. And Boakai is bringing rebel leader and his handpick to the executive mansion if they win. To prevent this, and Jowia being a no-brainer for Liberia, Jowia also shot himself in the foot many times. Jowia now involved with all this allegation of drug dealing and money laundering and all this bad thing. This is a chance to change Liberia. Musa Belete has been accused by his detractors of being a pay agent or a planted agent within the opposition to keep Jowia in power. So if there's going to be a chance for Komis and Yombly to come together in order to change the politics in Liberia, to change government in Liberia, because they believe with Yombly and Komis together, Yombly we have a lot of votes for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons, Yombly, she's a female. The way she was treated, many women, most of the women in Liberia, will coalesce around her. She will get a lot of sympathy vote because she was treated as non-entity, as nothing, not being strong enough, overlooked, and very disrespectful to her as a woman. Another reason, people say, well, in fact, Yombly got a lot of political capital. She, from the Bassa community, Bassa tribe, and Bassa belt comprised of Maryland, Riverside, Grand Bassa, Magibi, and Monserrado. So she brings a lot to the table that could change the political dynamics in the country. Some people say, well, whatever the case is, this will unite the opposition. So you people should talk to Musa so that Musa should not be the reason why George Weah should be re-elected. Whatever the case is, since they already won the case in court, and if he and the executive committee can allow Yombly to be the political leader again, if that will unite the party, and that will be only reason why she will come and be Komis's running mate and take Liberia from George Weah and his gangs and fix the country, you talk to Musa. So we were not the only people they reach out to. They reach out to most of the leaders in the country, outside of the country, that include former presidents, former ministers, former senators, former civil society leaders, a lot of people that they reach out to. So people had a conversation yesterday Now, the second meeting I'm telling you now. So people who are running around, oh, it's over, it's this, is that, they got no idea. They got no clue what's going on. They got no clue, no idea what's going on. In fact, some of the people call me leaders. I'm not talking about all the, little one. I'm talking about real people, good people, big people. Some of them call me because most of them think that, maybe Musa can listen to me. That we should bring this to the public, for the public to talk to Musa and the executive committee of the Liberty Party. That if this will bring peace to the opposition, if this will bring peace to the Liberty Party, if this will change Liberia, if this will stop your wheel for a second term, the people should talk to Musa and the executive committee to return to status quo ante, which means for them to go back to where they were before things start falling apart, which will automatically make Nyombli again the political leader for her party, not only her party, divided party, but a united Liberty Party. Musa also remains the chairman of a united Liberty Party, which they believe will collectively work together with the ANC and other parties that may come on board, because a lot of people are standing on the fence right now. Even there are a lot of people that reach out to us from the Unity Party. Some of them, not on the phone call. We got proof of communication, written communication, talking to us. Sekou, can you people talk to Musa and the executive, members of the executive committee, member of the Liberty Party, to allow this thing to happen? So we would have even frustrated UPN that are somehow angry by Joseph Boakai decision, that they are ready to move over to support the CPP to change the country, because whatever direction Boakai seems to be taking the country is not what they want. So the call to Musa Ability and the executive committee of the Liberty Party did not come from one place. It's coming from all over the place. Somebody told me just when we were on the show, somebody told me just now, oh, Sekou, somebody accusing Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of being the person or trying to bring Nyombli and Komis together. If that is true, what you are saying, isn't that a sound? Isn't that something that Commissioner Massa just will talk about? Somebody that brought Joseph Boakai to prominence. Somebody that Joseph Boakai served as vice president for 12 years. Somebody that Prince Johnson said that before he endorsed Joseph Boakai, he went to Ellen. Ellen gave him the green light, according to Prince Johnson. If that Ellen is being accused of trying to do everything that Joseph Boakai is not elected, if that is true, what does that say about Joseph Boakai? The person you serve, Boakai said most of the time he was the last person in the room to make decision. Boakai supporters want to take credit for some of the good things that Ellen did, but they want to shy away from the bad things or the mistakes that were done in Ellen's government. But yet, if Ellen cannot serve as a character witness to sell Boakai, to tell the world and the Liberian people that Boakai is the best person for Liberia, if at all that allegation they are putting on Ellen, because I know this is not just Ellen, I know it's Liberian. Majority of Liberian stakeholders are getting together to call for this to happen, to change Liberia. Some of whom have called me personally, I call other people, to come and publicly appeal to Musa Ability and the executive committee, also appeal to Nyombli people that they should all of them to put behind them whatever problem they have with each other. If this will change Liberia, for them to go ahead and do it. So while we Information we got last night, Commissioner Massa, is that it looks like the many calls from leaders, from civil society leaders, from market women, especially some of the leaders of the marketing association, especially women, that women in good number are reaching out, begging both parties, begging Yombli, begging Musa, begging all the members of the Liberty Party to take advantage of this opportunity, that the father Cummings, who was at the receiving end of all the allegation and attack and everything, Cummings is the one now extending olive branch to Yombli for the sake of country. They are saying, Musa, Executive Committee of the Liberty Party, you people should do this too for the sake of country. And from what we received, information we received yesterday, the people who are involved in this process, most of them came out smiling. But they are still holding the cut to their chest. And I said, one of them even told me, Seku, I don't want to talk. There was a gag order on all of us. You know, some of us, we are now lawyers, but when they say gag order, it means that they tell you to zip. They tell you not to say anything. But they came out excited. They came out excited. When you saw my page yesterday, if you saw it, I said progress is the key word, because that's exactly what they told me. I was just quoting, it's not my word. The people say, let me tell you what the person told me. The person wrote me and said, massive, significant progress. That is the word, that was the wording, the exact phrase. Massive, significant progress. So I choose the word progress to be the key word. That's why I put on my page, progress, the key word. But at this point, it will impress you that people from the other side, people who rejected Yombli Kanga Lawrence, they started doing one thing. But then when they got the news, they changed their modus operandi. I forgot. Katama said, I'm not be using no kind of warning. They changed the way they were doing things, the way they started attacking all. The plan they had, they tried to change it, they changed the strategy. They were insulting her, started calling her already Opojo, political Opojo, calling her already traitor. Oh, she's Joseph Barker's daughter. She this, she that. After insulting her, after everything, when they saw the people called them, well, if you all continue to insult the woman, she will have no option. She will go where she's been embraced. So, guess what they did? They tried to confuse the people. Oh, if you don't believe in agree to support Joseph Barker, the lie. I mean, tell you the truth. It's a big lie. There's nothing. There's no conversation besides Barker going to Nombli in that place. As a matter of fact, I'm told when they went to meet Nombli, she saw arrogance, she saw disrespect, she saw humiliation. Going to tell Yombli, we can make you Senate Pro Tem. Yombli been working in the Senate, she in a second term. She knows exactly how to be of Senate Pro Tem if she wants to be. She knows better the working of the Senate more than you. You, Barker, when you were there, sleeping, Yombli were there. They don't want you to work you out to tell you exactly what's going on. And you're not even elected yet. You already started giving position to people. That is what they call pay to play. You can't do that. Not all pay to play are with cash value. But there are incentives that comes with it. So they said, well, we will give you some ministry. You will appoint people there. You will bring anybody you want to serve in this ministry. And the most disrespectful thing about the whole thing, before I close on this, for you to look at the woman after putting her under the impression that she's going to be the VP, after she sacrificed everything, her relationship with some people, her party, because she saw Boakai as a statement. She saw Boakai as a viable alternative to George Weah. That's what I was thinking. She thought Boakai got good judgment until when Boakai proven otherwise. So she trusted Joseph Boakai. And to the extent where not only she gave her time, her energy, but also material support to Joseph Boakai. You slap her in the face. So you're not value, you're nothing, you're nobody, you bring nothing to the table. But then out of a sudden, she's the best campaigner, she's the campaign manager. The audacity, the disrespect to this woman. So, in closing, people should not carry or follow the lies. Now, the women of Liberia, they are getting excited and they are ready to put their support behind Yomli Kanga Lawrence if she decides to go with Cummings. The leaders, talking about kingmakers, people that I don't talk, but they're behind the scene, they are talking to both Musa and Yombli to put behind them everything to protect Liberia, to fix Liberia. So I personally, me, Sekou, if Musa is listening, because what I did, in fact, when we started the show here, I sent a link to him because I want Musa to listen. I sent a link to Yombli too. I sent a link to all of them to their WhatsApp name for them to come. I've not been paying attention to who all coming here, but I know a lot of people here. I've seen a lot of people here. Pretty much, most of the players are watching. I don't know who all here, but I know some of the people that are here. If Musa is watching and listening, I'm saying this to you as a friend and brother. Whatever it takes to bring peace to your party, go for it. Whatever it takes, we have said this before. I told Nyombli in private, I told Musa in private, and I said it in public. Do not destroy your party for anything. And do not destroy anything that will undermine the country. So, I am asking the people watching us today to also use their influence, their connection, whatever they have, to talk to both Yombli and Musa to put everything behind them to bring peace to their party, first and foremost. And we know when that happens, every other thing will fall in place. So do not be carried away by the people who are telling you, Yombli going to support Boakai. Yombli, she's not that kind of arrogant person. She will not tell you bad things. She will not insult you, but she will do exactly what is right. So those are some of the information that we wanted to provide to you people. From the look of things, people that were participants, people that were privileged to the information, to the meeting yesterday, not the meeting of the Liberty Party people, but meeting that included some of the BB people in the country. They're trying to put early, not only early, a lot of big people. I was not giving the right to say names here, but a lot of big people. They call all of them, they talk to them. They say they believe this is an opportunity to change the country. And most of them came out of there smiling, saying that it was massive, significant progress made. And I was even told, let me break the news to you. I was told that sooner rather than later, we could see the Liberty Party people smoking peace pipe very, very soon. I'm even told that it could even happen Monday or Tuesday for Liberty Party people to come together. Will that be the beginning of the communist and Young team? I don't know. But my concern and the concern of the leaders that called them to the yesterday was to make sure that they bring peace to their party. And I'm told people that were participants, some of the leaders that called me, they told me that they are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. That's what we have to provide to you people today. We have more information. We are allowed to provide to unveil them. We will, but we will keep some of those for now. Commissioner Massa, Steve Boley, and our people. Those are some of the information that we have. If need be, and we are tempted, we could share more, but we'll stop here so far. So, Steve, before I go, I just want to recognize people. Since we came here today, we said this was the end of the month. People are not supportive of SKTV, and then we even call some of our friends' name, try to pick them up, pick on them. Most of them have contributed, to SKTV. And we have 2 different cash apps. So people kind of like send money to both. So we have $75 on the other one. And then we have $145 on the other one. And somebody also sent $50 to the WhatsApp, to the Zelle. So we want to say thank you. Most of the people that can send money to us, they always tell us, we have to call our name, but we've got to recognize you. To tell you thank you. We don't want to be ungrateful. Every penny, $10, $5 you send to SKTV goes a long way. We appreciate it. I wanted to add that because when people do something for you, you must recognize it. And we're here today talking about Joseph Waga now being nice to Yombly, being ungrateful, and the rest of it, because he failed to recognize the good, things she did for him. Similarly, in as much as disagree with Costa on the way he does things, I personally believe that Joseph Parker also was not fair and did not treat Costa fairly, honestly speaking. And that was not good. He betrayed all of them. And now worrying about what they will do next. You didn't care about the people. You didn't care about Yombly. You cared Yombly was not important. But now you worry where they go? No, I will not care. If I decide today, say, Mother Washington, don't come on this show, I'll kick you off. I don't care. You go to school. You go to this one. You go up. You come down. I don't care, because I say I don't want you. If I knew you're importing your value, I know you are an addition to this platform. I know you are somebody, a permanent Liberian or stakeholder or an opinion leader to this platform. You know what I would have done? I will make sure I maintain you. I will make sure I keep you close to me. I will make sure I gave you what you want, especially when it comes to respect and recognizing your effort and the value you bring to SKTV. I will stop there. Thank you very much, Steve. Back to you, Commissioner.
It's up to Martha Washington. Now she can tell us based on some of the things she's heard, and what does she think at this point, where we are now, where things are going, what's going on? What are some of your thoughts?
Hey, before Commissioner Massa talk, let me ask the three of you. Somebody is so angry and insulting us. He says, this is a useless Mandingo show. Massa, are you Mandingo? Steve, are you Mandingo?
Can you hear me, Sekou?
Yeah, the people are so mad. They're so mad when you say the truth.
They say I was sure that useless Mandingo show.
They said that useless Mandingo show.
Well, then thank God I'm Mandingo, because it's one of my favorite, ethnic group of Liberia. I love Mandingo.
All the people watching the all Mandingo. Everybody are listening to all Mandingo.
Yeah, everybody Mandingo.
Some of them, I try to bring this to
This
tell
is
you
how crazy people
the
are.
kind of people we are dealing with. I'm not going to blame those people. They're just showing you who they are. They're just telling you what they are good for. They're being divisive, bringing nothing on the table to the table, but just to divide the people on tribal line and religious line. And we are way ahead of them. So, Commissioner, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure to pay attention to get to tell you the kind of people we are dealing with, but we shouldn't be moved by this negativity.
Wow, Sekou, that's a mouthful. All the information you provided. Thank you so much. We've been also talking to people and trying to figure out what's going on, but some information that I have, I do not have the consent of people who have been speaking to me to disclose, whatever information I have on to a third party. So I will not go there. I have to respect people's confidentiality. But you pretty much sum a lot of it up. But I just like to say that it is interesting after former Vice President Walker has thrown this. I call it, a grenade. After he's thrown this grenade on his partners, I mean, come what may, no matter what people want to say, Yombly, Dalen, and Costa, they literally rebranded VP Walker's brand. They literally rebranded. Yeah, the same Costa who came up before in the past and had a slip of the tongue and was referring to the former vice president as Sleepy Joe was the same Costa who came back and provided compelling reasons why Joe Walker is not Sleepy Joe anymore. Honestly, love Costa, hate Costa, whatever it is, wherever you think he's at in all of this dispensation, Costa knows marketing. He knows marketing, and he and Dillon and Youngly combined, they have fought for VP Boyka, and they were loyal to him, respectful of him. So to have treated him so poorly, I think it's going to backfire. I think it's going to backfire. Now, whether Boyka will win the election or not, but I'm just going to say that. I'm just saying that I think it's going to backfire. And this thing with thinking that Youngly can be treated shabbily. She's with you. She's been with you all this time. You didn't know her value. You didn't think she has the kind of value and skill set, what it takes to get you to that next step. But then in the meantime, people really think that in their arrogance, she is supposed to go and run campaign for Prince Johnson to be vice president, to be a de facto vice president. Well, I'm not saying that it's not, it can happen. This is Liberian politics. People can form political alliances at any time, depending on how they see things. If it happens, that would be left with Youngly and her choice. But from someone like me, it is just shocking that people would think that you can completely trash people and completely degrade them, demote them, and their essence and their worth. But then in the meantime, come back and say, "Oh, you know what? We will make you corrupt. We will do pay to play for you. We'll make you a Senate pro tem. You will be the campaign manager for Jeremiah Kuhn / Prince Johnson." And Youngly, like you said, Steve, I think they took her for granted. Like I said, a lot of things went to play. A lot of everything. The patriarchy system, the misogyny, the age, and then all of that. So I think they took her for granted. But I think Youngly is smarter than people want to give her credit for. And I think Youngly has played the long game. At the end of the day, she's emerging as the king maker. Okay? So someone who just yesterday was relegated to the back of the line is that same person today that even presidents, ministers, and everybody else is running to her for them to have a talk. I mean, that's a powerful position to be in. And I'm sure Youngly, from what I hear about her personality, she's not a rash person. She doesn't make decisions, rashly. She takes her time. She ponders things. From from what I'm hearing about the kind of personality that she has and her smarts, I'm sure Youngly will make the best decision, not only for her, but for Liberia and for all Liberians. And I would just say that I think this issue with Musability and the split in the Liberty Party is a good thing. I'm hearing that they're trying to talk. I also got information that they've had several meetings already. But Sekou just did a fantastic job of trying to reach to Musability to say, hey, let's stand down and let's be humble and let's do this for the sake of the country. So for the fact that Youngly who pick up the phone and call Musability and say, look, commies came to me, people are coming to me, this is what they want. I don't want to move forward. Because she can really go forward as a single individual. The vice presidential pick does not have to come from a political party. She can go as an individual. But for the fact that she reached out to Musability, who have been feuding with her so bitterly, it tells you the kind of person she is, her leadership style, her heart and her decency and what she wants for Liberia. She still wants to salvage what is left of the Liberty Party, which is a good thing. So I think Musa and the rest of them should use this opportunity. Charlene as well, they all should use this opportunity to clean up in-house. There is nothing that has been spoiled that cannot be fixed, especially when it doesn't border on the matter of life and death. Nothing that is not a life and death matter that cannot be fixed. So I think the both Liberty Party should come together, harmonize this for the betterment of the party and then also for the betterment of the CPP. Now I would just say something here. VP Boyka is actually defending his pick because I read somewhere that he came back and defended his vice presidential pick, and he made a statement that he was not searching for a sinless angel. Rather, he was searching for a real human being with imperfection. Wow. How paradoxical, because if you were searching for, you were not looking for this angel whatsoever, what happened to Youngly? What happened to Costa? What happened to Dylan? Or any of your people who have been loyal to you? So it is okay for the men to be imperfect. So it's okay for Jeremiah Cohn and Prince Johnson to be imperfect. But then Youngly must be perfect, right? So the little spat she had in the Senate with a colleague who was trying to bully her and be in her face, all of a sudden, Prince Johnson want to brand her as being, temperamental, right? When men been doing this thing forever and ever. So now Borka said before that he's prepared to dance, to deal with it with the devil, all right? But then Youngly is supposed to be perfect because she's a female. Women are supposed to be perfect. Women are not supposed to make any mistake and whatsoever. But then in the meantime, Borka had just said that he was not looking for an angel for a running mate. He was not looking for a perfect human being. He was looking for someone who had all the human flaws, but he could still work with the person. That is a contradiction. That is an epic contradiction. And I would just say that I think this decision by the former VP was his first test, his first decision, as a leader going through the elections, and if he ever won the election. But this decision has backfired so badly that even historical enemies of Youngly are reaching out to her and saying, no, this was just too bad, because there is something about human nature and betrayal. We don't like betrayal. We don't like betrayal because it's one of the worst sins. They have the 7 deadly sins. Betrayal is one of the worst sins. So how do you think that the people who've been there with you, who have stood by you, who have fought for you? I remember when this whole CPP was collapsing, they insulted Youngly so horribly all over the place. They insulted this girl so bad. I was scared for her. I said, oh my God, she's going to get sick. But she just took it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's perfect. She made her mistakes. But the way they insulted her also, Joseph Walker sat there. He never made a comment. He never said anything. He never issued a statement, nothing to say. No, she was just there by herself. And they dragged her all over the place. And she just stood there and took it in and suck it up. but she still remained loyal. She still remained respectful. Those are qualities you want in your partner. Anybody who is going to work with you very closely, you want that person to be loyal to you. Loyalty doesn't mean that the person will mislead you, or loyalty doesn't mean that if you're doing something wrong, people can call your attention. This loyalty simply means that this person is with you. They will promote your policies. They will help you run the country properly. They will help you be successful. They are prepared to step back, take one step back, and push you in front, and they got your back. So this level of loyalty that Walker had in young Dillon, and young Costa, and he just shoved it back in their faces, I think the old man is going to have some regrets or down the line, probably very early enough, he's going to have some regrets, because this betrayal was epic. It was an epic betrayal, and it was shocking because we didn't expect this to come from Boyka. Don't forget, he was the wise old owl in the room of all the opposition people because of the years of experience, his age, his education, and so he's made some huge mistake. And if I was the VP, I'm not going to justify Prince Johnson and TK anymore. Let him just keep quiet and continue what he thinks he can do best to salvage his reputation and move on. But I wouldn't be giving any justification for what happened. He treated his lawyer supporters, he treated them shabbily. And I want to ask, I keep saying this, Yongli Kanga is emerging as the kingmaker. She is emerging as the kingmaker. She's going to be the ultimate kingmaker at the end of the day. Whether whoever she supports gets to the presidency or not, but this is going to be a moment in history, and this is Yongli's moment. This is Yongli's moment. And I will make that Hans Christian Andersen analogy again. The ugly duckling, the duckling that you saw in the pond with all the other beautiful ducklings. Say, oh, the other duckling is too ugly. Oh, look how it's too ugly. The ugly duckling has now become the beautiful swine. And I think that's going to be Yongli's story.
That means the rejected stone has now become the cornerstone.
The rejected stone has now become the cornerstone. And what Boyka needs to understand too, that this betrayal of Yongli was also a letdown of the women of Liberia. People like me who try to be, I try not to be like a partisan like that, like so negative. I have friends in every party. I respect a lot of people. There's some people in the government that I love and respect, because not everybody who works for government is stealing money. I disagree. And there are some people who I will stay away from. So, what the VP has done, he's the women were not happy, and this is my papi. I talk to him sometimes. We're not happy. What he has done, we are not happy, because I didn't want to like reduce it to a women's issues, but it's part of it. It is part of it. It is part of it, and we know we come from a society that is heavy in tradition, is steep in tradition, and I can see patriarchy and misogyny in play here. And this time around, it's backfiring in an epic way. It doesn't look good for former Vice President VP. Former Vice President Boyka. It doesn't look good for him at all. And but hey, I'm not a politician. Yongli is an experienced politician. Boyka, all of them, they are experienced politicians. At the end of the day, we're going to have an election. Someone is going to emerge the winner. But this is Yongli's moment. And I love the way she's playing her game. She's just going about it quietly, calmly, tactfully, purposefully, and she's just moving on. So if you don't think that these are all qualities that you need of a leader for this time, then good luck to you. Go with Prince Johnson, and let's see if Prince Johnson can really, really, really win this election for Boyka. And before we end the show, Sekou, I hope y'all will give me maybe 5 or 10 minutes to break down this myth. I think it's been over-expanded now that Prince Johnson is the kingmaker. I don't think he is. Yeah. Depending, based on the stats here, he's not.
We will do that. I just want to pick Steve's brain on something, because I know he will articulate that well. Steve, are you listening?
Yes.
I have a question for you. I want you to really, because you've been very, listener today, but I want you to talk because this is very important. Number one, why are they getting angry? First. Secondly, by consistently fighting, going for Nyombli, going to apologize to Nyombli, going to beg Nyombli, you think this is going to somehow have some ripple effect or negative effect from the Prince Johnsons and Kun Kiam? Like, okay, are they regretting taking Kun? Or do they think we are not enough? We do not have enough support, or the country is not receiving this well. So but their consistent show of anger and then reaching out, to Nyombli, begging Nyombli, and in the rest of all these things, you think that will have a ripple effect? And secondly, why are they angry for Nyombli, for even commies going to reach out to Nyombli? Why are they angry about that? Why?
Well, the first thing is I will have to agree with Massa, who made it very clear that the abuse that was brought to Yomli, the letdown, the disappointment, and I'm paraphrasing what she said, not in her own words here. But I think the reaction is in two folds. The first part of it is which we can relate to, or some people might have heard about it or have seen it or have even lived it. It's like this abusive person who you are in a relationship with. They claim they don't want you. Okay, fine. You cried, you were hurt. You decided that you will move on physically, mentally, spiritually, and so forth. God blesses you and opens a door. Somebody starts to come around. That person comes back in the picture. Not only that, they want to prevent you from starting on a new life or starting on fresh, but they want to also control your destiny, and they want to make sure that they fight with the other person who's coming there to drive that person away from you. And this is typically what's going on with the United Party. That shows that they are not in your interest. What they want to do, they want to be able to use you be at a disposal when they want you to be at a disposal. You see, it's like we say, bro, you move the president from them. I somebody from vice presidency. You move them from all the way there. You say, I can't be your campaign manager. What sense does that make? Who does that? Who does that? That's total abuse and disrespect. Let's be honest. Me, I let it call it as it is. Other people might not say it that way, but that abuse and disrespect. If this person will not go for the vice presidency, even Yombli went as far as admitting directly and indirectly that if Joseph Boakai were to approach her for the vice president, she would take it.
Yeah, she said that.
You see, so if she was not seen as a vice presidential material, she is only seen as somebody who can campaign and canvass. And the second part of it, Mr. Kane, let me tell you something. The second part of it is this user mentality that most of us Liberian men, unfortunately, I got to say it, we have in us. Where we use people, we abuse them, we dispose of them, and we make them to be nothing. Because essentially, he wants to make Yombli to be insignificant, whether you like it or not. By extension or by evidence, first of all, you will see that they don't want the Liberty Party to unite. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. So the fight in the Liberty Party benefits them because they can keep Yombli and Delon to themselves. Now, they have passed around and said Musa has been the problem. Musa has been the problem. Okay, that's fine. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt that Musa is the problem. The truth of the matter now, we have a perfect opportunity as Liberians and as human beings to say, Musa, please let down your guard, finally. Let down this thing, forget the thing, whatever happened, go back to the status quo. Let's get Yombli back to being a political leader. And that peace we want all over, and that opposition unity we want. So why should people be interested in the Liberty Party staying divided and Yombli then wants that? So then, what do you really want? That means, any way you put it, they're not in Yombli's interest. What they want to do, they see Yombli, like we can say, bro, to just be in the kitchen, cooking for them and serving them. That's it. That is it. Let me tell you today, that is it. But on a bigger picture, Mr. Kane, either ways, let me agree with Massa again. This mistake made by Joseph Yuma Boakai, this calculation has cost Joseph Yuma Boakai political life. I will say it that way. It has cost him a political life. The decision is the end of Joseph Yuma Boaga and the Unity Party's ambition for the presidency. Let me tell you why. If we go back into history very shortly, DeLong and Prince Johnson went head-to-head wherein Prince Johnson indirectly threatened DeLong. Only because DeLong wanted to hold him accountable for the World Economic Crimes Code. It's on record, the tapes are there. And we will play the tapes. We'll find the tapes and play it. But not only that, this is not Prince Johnson's first time throwing jab at Yombly. In fact, Prince Johnson, when DeLong first came to the Senate, tried to indirectly implicate Yombly. That time Yombly was in a CPP. Tried to indirectly implicate Yombly to be a warlord. Oh, you're not forget? No, we can't forget. Because we follow all these things. And yes, that Prince Johnson first time. So what he did on Spoon most recently, to accuse her of being an angry woman or whatever it is, his goal from a psychological standpoint, the picture he tries to print of Yombly is to keep her down. And this is wrong. If Yombly decides that she doesn't want to be vice president or she doesn't want to go commit, that is a fair game. But the truth of the matter is, Yombly must have the right to have her say. Yombly must have the right to go back to her party and face the issue in the party. This is the right thing to do. So I'm calling on Musa as well. I'm putting my voice with your voice, Mr. Kane. Let them have this peace. Let them for once put the thing aside and move on. This is the most important thing, the most interesting thing in the party. And this mentality that Joseph Yuma Kwagade will sit down there, the United Party will sit down there. Even they've named Jeremiah Kun from a strategic standpoint. They couldn't issue a statement. Nobody is the Allah. Like it or not, even if she hasn't made a decision yet, they should have issued a statement as a responsible party, saying no, we don't stand with what Prince Johnson said. We don't. It was not enough for Prince Johnson to call her or for him to go arrest Stanton Witherspoon and say, Stanton Witherspoon is something. That criminal as we speak. Right now, as we speak, Stanton is a criminal. How can a warlord or criminal of war go and arrest another criminal? Because, look, this is despicable. Let's be honest. This is despicable, and we must say the truth. They play what the truth is. They play Yombly wrong, we say she wrong. They play she right. We're not sit around and our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our parents be marginalized. No, it will not happen. It will not happen. It will not happen. So let her get Yombly her space. Let her decide what she wants to do. The most important thing, we all must support the effort of reconciliation and peace in the Liberty Party. That is important and that is vital.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. Well spoken. Commissioner Washington, you say you wanted like 5 or 10 minutes to, I don't know if you can do it under 10 minutes. That would be good. You wanted to clarify certain things, to point to some important things when it comes to statistics and as relate to our election data in Liberia. You want to do that, especially on Nima County, or is it about the whole country?
Sure.
Go ahead.
My nephew Moses, my man, you growing in this thing. Oh my God. You had me so excited. I wanted to clap for you. I forgot that I was actually on the panel. I wanted to clap for you just now. Congratulations, my man. That was fantastic analysis. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, because Prince Johnson, when former VP Boycott made this mistake, it's sort of like, it ignited Prince Johnson. It gave him a new lease on life. He came out, Boycott announced his pick on Friday. By Sunday, Monday, Prince Johnson was on the talk show attacking Yombly, putting her down, trying to make her look like this angry black woman and all this kind of stuff. And he said in his interview that the people of Nima County will listen to him, they respect him, they love him, and he's the only person who can deliver Nima County. So he just carry on with me. It's like Nima County is his personal fund. And so after that, I said, well, let me go back again and look at the stats, because it was kind of scary to see that kind of confidence from Prince Johnson. But don't forget now, liars, some people can lie with confidence. So the same Prince Johnson, is saying now today that he didn't kill Samuel Doe. Prince Johnson said he did not kill Samuel Doe. But I guess Prince Johnson can say it because, people, Liberians don't want to do anything for accountability. So Prince Johnson now he's beginning to deny that he killed Samuel Doe. Next thing he will tell you, he was not a warlord. That's another Prince Johnson who was fighting. But that's not the point. So I decided to go back to look at the numbers, the elections then, and then the numbers now. to see where Prince Johnson really fit, to see whether he is that big of a factor in Lima County, or whether at this time it is just past glory, that some of us who are the intellectuals who have not gone back to review from 2017 all the way now. You know, sometimes people have the stereotype, or they have one picture in their mind about something, and they don't go back again to research or to deconstruct, and then it just remains the same thing over the years. So I went back and looked. Prince Johnson, the overall national elections rather, 2017, Prince Johnson won only 8% of the vote. Less than 8.5%. It was actually 8.22% of the vote he won, right? And he came consistently, almost consistently in the 5th place. He came almost consistently in the 5th place. He was in the 5th place in 8 counties: Grand Bassa County, Margibi, Lofa, Bapolu, Cape Mount, Montserrado, Grand Coup, and Riwaji. He came 5th. In some of those counties, Commies came ahead of him. Commies, who was a newcomer. Prince Johnson came 6th place in Riverside and Sando counties. Then he came 4th in Grand Jida County. And in 3 counties, he was on no-show, meaning that the people did not vote for him. Bomi County, he got 0 votes. When I say 0, it's like the percentage was not even enough to make 0.1%. So Bomi County was on no-show. And I'm so proud of my Boda people, my county. I'm so proud of them. They did not vote for Prince Johnson. Maryland County also did not vote for Prince Johnson. He was on no-show in Maryland County. He was 0. Bond County, I was shocked when I look at the data. I was shocked to see that Bond County did not vote for Prince Johnson. His vote in Bond County was so miserable that it did not even come to 0.5% of the vote. That's why they didn't count it. So Bond County, Bomi County, and Maryland County, Prince Johnson was on no-show. They didn't vote for him. Mind you, do. Bond County is one of the largest in terms of vote. So Bond County didn't vote for Prince Johnson that last time. I'm predicting, based upon the data, they're not going to vote for him again. And this, I think Bond County is like the 3rd largest, in terms of the voting. You have Montserrado, you have Limbaugh, you have Bong, and Grand Jida, what have you. Okay? Now, in Lima County, he won 53%. 53.5% of the vote. Yeah, that was, significant enough. Okay. And so the Bassa Belt, this is where I think VP Boyka has actually killed himself. They are saying that because Youngly has this problem in the Unity Party, in the Liberty Party, and the Liberty Party has this faction, so they are saying that this girl has lost the Bassa Belt, which is not true. It's a fallacy. One, you look at Youngly's entire history. Youngly's father is the undisputed king of the Bassa people. Ask anybody about Dr. Abba Kanga. This man opened schools and schools and projects all over the Bassa Belt. Riverside County, when we went there to do TRC work, we saw a school with her name on it. Grand Bassa everywhere. When you mention the Kanga name in Grand Bassa, the Bassa people, they all know. Okay, so they're going to be supporting Youngly because of her family history, her family background. Now, in Grand Bassa County in 2017, Prince Johnson won only 1.1% of the vote. So technically, it was only 1% of the vote he won. In Grand Bassa County, only 1%, he came 5th. In Riverside, he got only again 1.26%, he came 6th. In Margibi County, he won 1.38%. He came 5th. So imagine the Bassa Belt, cumulatively, Prince Johnson did not even get 10% of the vote. Cumulatively, he did not even get 6% of the vote of the 3 counties: Grand Bassa, Riverside, and Margibi. He performed them miserably. And with this thing that they have done to Youngly now, he would be lucky. He came 5th in Grand Bassa. He would be lucky if he come at all, if he take any place. Riverside, Margibi, he would be lucky if he takes any place. So it means that the Bassa Belt counties, okay, Prince Johnson is going to be losing them. I did not include Montserrado County. You know, Montserrado County is heavily surrounded by Bassa people. Every community you go to in the Montserrado County, they got a Bassa town. I think the Bassa tribe is one of the few tribes in Liberia that have a Bassa community in every 15 counties. Okay, so never mind all those other counties that are not part of that immediate Bassa belt. Yombly they're going to be police support from them as well. So don't forget, it's not only Yombly now, it's Darius Dillon, okay, and other people. So Prince Johnson performed miserably in Monserrado County. He had only in Monserrado County, Prince Johnson had only, I think, 8% of the vote or so. So imagine, imagine the Bassa people are not going to be supporting Prince Johnson. The women, we are not going to be supporting Prince Johnson. Note, I'm insisting on the name Prince Johnson, not Jeremiah Kuhn, because I'm not going to waste my time with the tentacles of the octopus. The women we're not going to support Prince Johnson. Other people are already saying they will not support Prince Johnson. Boycott will need more than Nima County. Nima County is up for grabs. Right now, Nima County is a toss-up. Cummings is going to get some votes. Gonglo is going to get some votes. And other people, CDC is going to get some votes. CDC is heavily, is strong in Nima County. Gonglo, that's his hometown, is strong in Nima County. Cummings is strong in Nima County. When Prince Johnson won only one county in 2017, Cummings got vote in every single county. So people need to pay attention to. People need to pay attention to Alexander Cummings because the stats are in his favor as well. Gonglo is going to be the dark horse. Gonglo is going to be the dark horse. So I just wanted, to bring that attention to everybody because Prince Johnson at this time, he boasting all over the place that only he can deliver Nima County is, for me, I think it's past. I will consider it past glory, and I think it's an inflicted sense of self. If it happens, maybe he will win, maybe by 5%, 10%. Well, can he win votes in Nima County? Yes, I think he can. But can he bring 53% of the votes from Nima County that he did in 2017? No way, it's impossible. Go and do the math. Even now, with the national census, it's impossible. Prince Johnson cannot win 50% of the votes in Nima County. It's not going to happen. I will come if it happens. I will come back on your show and correct myself and admit that I erred that time when I made my estimation. But Prince Johnson cannot even win 50% of the vote in Nima County. So Joseph Boyka, he has calculated wrongly, big time. They go hunting. My cousin.
Let me say this to you, Commissioner Washington. You are 100% correct. And just to agree with you, just the last election, 2020, Prince Johnson's party that Jeremiah Kuhn ran on, if Tawongme was not in the race, either Gonglo was going to win. The difference between Jeremiah Kuhn vote and that of Edith Gonglo was the one that went to Tawongwe. It means that that party's support is declining, heavily declining. But people don't pay attention. People don't pay attention to that. If you remember again, when Edith Gonglo ran against Prince Johnson himself, the margin was not that much. If there was no third-party candidate, she could have won as well. But I can tell you this. This election is yet to be, the campaign is yet to start. I know there are a lot of women that are very, very furious. And they will go all out to make sure they prove to Boakai that the insult, the disrespect, the manner in which they try to demoralize women by the way they treated youngly. Women will come out and they will come out massively to send a message, I believe. Steve, I think I want to say thank you to the commissioner. I think we should call it a day.
Yes, she can give us a parting comment and we can call it a day. It was it was good. A lot of
Very,
good information.
I mean, she always, provide. Anyway, don't run away from what you're doing. The way you did, we've been out of here for a long time now, so we'll be calling you again, to come and discuss national issues. You have a lot of information, and you are very knowledgeable when it comes to Liberia and issues confronting our country. So it was great. So you can make your parting comment, and then we can call it a day.
Right. Having spoken so extensively now, I will just leave with this, just maybe a one or two sentences in a parable. I would like to say to my pops, former Vice President Joseph Boyka, you have bought the pig in the bag. You open the bag and look in the nose of the pig, it got nothing but snot in it. Or pig in the bag. That's all I have to say.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Well,
Steve?
that was
say Baga ball pig in the bag.
yeah, that's a huge statement. It means a lot.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
It's like one word with millions meaning.
Yes, it means a lot. But I like the fact that they, I didn't see it at first, but I like the fact that the hitting female factor
Oh yeah.
that was overlooked. And whether you like it or not, it will be a very deciding moment in the election. This is I don't know, but this is very, very interesting. And I like the fact that, Nyombli, like the commissioner said, Nyombli is the decision maker here now, the kingmaker, whether you like it or not. It's just the fact of the matter. I think in Boaka's decision, I think he put more price tag and value to Nyombli unknowingly. He elevated her status with a thought process that maybe they were going to step on her, bring her down. It added more value. And
Yeah.
I don't think that they saw it this way, because if they had strategically positioned it, and even think about the female factor, Nyombli could have won more female vote appeals, especially where women feel marginalized now in this time. Do you know how many? I don't understand. I don't understand the strategy. I don't know who's talking to some of these people. But the truth of the matter is, with how women in the country are hurt from whether it's their children or other women being, downplayed, marginalized, and so forth.
Rape and children
Rape,
be raped. You give me a
all
quote
of these things happening.
to give
They're
food to the
calculus.
Mhm.
And you know what? You know what even made this good for Nyombli? You know what even made it good for Nyombli? The fact that women would sit and say, you know what, thing, we were betrayed. This patriarchal mentality and society that's been established, wherein we can't break through. Every time we want to break through, they'll step on us. We want to break through, they'll step on us. That alone would be an appeal. And I think Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence can use this to her advantage. Should she accept to become, what would be her message if she were to become campaign chairman for Joseph? What would be the message? The first thing is, you know what? Many people will first of all reflect and say, oh, I see why they can't tell Labron women are serious. The same thing that happened to Jemama Worokwali. Last minute time, she threw in the tire. After CDC dished her, left her, she threw in the tire after she had a meeting with President George Weah. It's a problem. So Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, on the other hand, has the mantle in your hand now to say, you know what happened? Through everything, we have the perfect opportunity now. We have the stage.
Yes.
And this can be a lesson to the younger girls and women who are out there. Say, hey, listen, who want to get into politics, say, listen, regardless of who overlook you or whatever it is, when you have the opportunity, it's okay for you to use the opportunity you have, utilize it, and make this thing bigger. And I will hope and pray that other women would support her. Yeah. Women should rally around her, because this can be a defining moment for the women. No joke. No joke. And this is why these guys are fighting. This is why they're afraid, and this is why they don't want her to seek this opportunity. How do you operate like this? When we say these things, they say we hate this person, we hate that person. But this is undermining. This is undermining women's agenda. This is undermining women's agenda. Let's be honest. This is undermining women's agenda. oh, so Senator Yomdi Kangalorn when I could be vice president. No, nobody's stupid here. I will say to the Unity Party people, the Liberty Party people, it's time for you to regain your position, you unite. And I will say to Senator Yomdi Kangalorn, take the offer and make the case. Make the case. Don't be left down. Get at the table. Don't be nobody bare ball. Where you going? Let other people campaign for you too. What thing happened in your life matter too? What happened? Are you might go campaign for Jeremiah Kun? Are you serious?
And Prince Johnson.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So that means all the advocates and all the senators that you and Delon have been sending other people in the Senate. Oh, you're gonna go turn around, you go campaign for. Oh, okay, we stupid, yeah, okay. Y'all go campaign now. Yeah. No, waiting. Y'all contradict yourself. You're undermine yourselves. No, you're undermine yourselves. You're go undermine. Even in the Congo where they seen Jeremiah Kun that we're talking about today when he was supported by CDC. Now they seen Jeremiah Kun took the opportunity for another woman to represent her country. Also, what happened now? I don't know, women that can be in leadership. What's going on? What is going on? So the Liberty Party put them, the party were leaning to what we just go for Senate protest. Eh?
Yeah.
We have had 2 or 3 Senate protests. We have the Liberty Party, the Basel people. What happened? What happened? So you're not going to be our president?
They will not go to campaign for other people and be pretend.
Yeah.
You know, people, they can disrespect people. Let me say this, Steve, about tomorrow's show. We have a new edition of our platform. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing what we call the big debate. The big debate will comprise of representatives from all parties that we choose to be a part. We have already received communication from the CDC, received communication from ACO, we received communication from ANC, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we stay open to the end of today, and we will be coming up with a flyer with people that are going to be on here tomorrow. If you don't say your best, it's up to you. We're not responsible. The conversation is going to be about Liberian politics in the election. Everybody will be here to make the case for their person, for their party. If the person you were saying here tomorrow, if that person performance does not satisfy you, you can send another person next week. But whoever you send tomorrow will be here for the show for tomorrow. But Steve, I think we should cut it here.
Yes, just before we call it a day, Mr. Kanye, there is something strange going on.
Okay.
You know, I just read it. Somebody sent me something. I just read it. It's very concerning and disturbing. Mm. And I think, let me say this to our brothers and our sisters who are supporting GMB. Let me say this to you. Just stop this entitlement bullying mentality. It's not a good thing. Senator Dillon, Senator Yomdi Kangalorn, they all have the right to decide their political future and will. You give them a space. It's okay for other people to engage them. There is nothing wrong with it. This is a political process. The fact that you guys did not want to bring them to the table does not mean that they should commit their lives to so. That's not how it works. You don't look, loyalty is a two-way street. You don't dishonor people, honor man, and then you say the person must be loyal to you. They're not a cult thing you run in, that politics you are in. And I will say this to them: don't allow nobody to bully you. Don't allow nobody to threaten you, and don't allow nobody to put fear in you. Make a conscious decision and allow your heart to lead you. Listen, if you think you are comfortable with how somebody treated you from the beginning and they promise you later on, and you think that they're going to hold up to their promises, then you can go there and judge for yourself. I will say it on the record. Vice President Joseph Yuma Baga has not kept his word from the CPP days up until today. He has not kept his word. He will make promises, he doesn't live up to it. And that in itself is problematic. If nobody should tell you or say, that the other person voted for you, and Joseph, I've said it over and over, I continue to say, Joseph Yuma Baga is not able to make anybody president. Nobody should put fear in them. Joseph Yuma Baga can make nobody president. That's not true. If he could, he would have made himself 2017. Secondly, the road to the presidency is through the Liberty Party and not through the Unity Party. Nobody should be threatening or worried. Look, they get zero. That noise. They beat them in a stronghold. See, they beat them in Lofa. Zero. You don't be worried about, you don't be jittery about certain things. The only thing, just make a conscious decision, be decisive, be strategic, and move on. You don't have to worry. The other noise, somebody will settle because noise will be there. So that means, you're foremost, the most important thing here is you get your party together and don't be afraid of nobody. I'm reading this post from one of our friends. It's troubling, Mr. Kane. I will send it to you. It is troubling and disturbing. It's very concerning. It's very, very concerning. That's not how you operate.
What happened?
Let me send a post to you. It's concerning. This is intimidation. This is bullying, whether you like it or not.
They've been intimidating her, for the past.
No, that Dylan now. That Dylan on now.
That's okay. Dylan is the fighter too, Let them continue to do that. That will help them.
So look at that post I just sent you. It's
what are you saying? On WhatsApp?
Facebook. Just look at the post. It's how do you even leave yourself on record like that? I mean, come on. Let's be mature about this. Let people exercise their political franchise, in their rights.
People should be allowed, to like when we come here, we criticize people. We say, things. We speak our opinion about what some of the things they do, but we do not really, threaten people and try to bully people, for something like that.
Yeah, nobody should stand for that. Don't. But anyways, folks, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Tomorrow we'll be here. Tomorrow we'll be here. Don't be worried. Oh, you're leaving me. You stay hold of with my share post. You don't stay hold of our share post.
I'm reading it. It's a threat, but I don't think that will move Geelong.
You are the foundational stakeholder there.
I don't think it will move Geelong, but trust me.
The sustainable stakeholder.
Anything that will be in the interest of Liberia and the Liberian people. So now, the person or the people that are posting this were the ones celebrating this morning, today, saying that Ali, Sonny Ali, I will send it to you. My brother says, Steve, you send it to him. But I will send it to him.
No.
Sonny Ali, still hold on. Sonny Ali, be SKTV.
No, Mr. Canada. The problem that they stay hold on.
You see the man you want to cash out, man?
So you can just get a title play. I'm talking about
Sonny Ali,
foundational stakeholder, sustainable.
With Steve, man.
Sustainable stakeholder there. Look, Tiola Gibson a foundational stakeholder. Sustainable stakeholder there, more than a foundational stakeholder. Sita Thompson there, Sita then as all the foundational stakeholder there.
My sister, Ruth.
Ruth, that foundational.
Today, that's Simaningo girl.
No, Mr. Kane. Ruth, that foundational plus sustainable stakeholder. No, we gotta put no. No, we gotta put respect to Ruth. These are sustainable stakeholders that we are.
I was telling all my Manigo sister there. Gwen,
a sustainable stakeholder. Gwen, a sustainable stakeholder. We're talking about. Listen, Mr. Kane. Look, foundational and sustainable. Yasendi is a foundational stakeholder. Who? That foundational stakeholder in there.
That's sustainable?
No. And we're not going to confuse the list. We got a list here. Even my boss, Sarah, that foundational, Lofa Julia, that foundational stakeholder, my boss, SB Don, that foundational stakeholder. We are discussing sustainable stakeholders. They are the foundational stakeholders. Bill Cassin, that foundational plus temporary stakeholder there. No. Bill Cassin fall in the temporary stakeholder category. Because send a point in the newspaper, you lost.
Because
They put a newspaper and make a conto be again.
for SKTV, man.
No. Mr. Kane, why you are making the attire?
But, you know, listen to me. Me and Bekasi were talking, not talking on the show, off the show. Bekasi told me, say that he used to support Boakai. But the reason why he decided not to support Boakai was because, Komis. The reason why he took a support from Komis because he advised Komis not to go to Liberty Party headquarters. And Komis never listened to him, so that one made him first. But he said the decision Boakai we made after it was when Costa situation happened in Ghana. He said if that Costa or anything other than Yombly, he said he will revisit his support for Boakai. So Bekasi needs to get clean. Whether he still support Boakai after taking Jeremiah Prince Johnson, Bekasi needs to. Bekasi is a stakeholder. And my sister Vida, you know Vida is a stakeholder too. You got respect.
Who?
Vida.
No. Vida that fund, Mr. Kennedy. You see the problem? No. On me tonight, we put a list out.
They are lazy. Yeah, I think I will scratch your list and.
No, I think my people.
What about Levy Thompson?
No, Levy that foundational and sustainable. Levy there, Gwen there, that the foundational and sustainable stakeholder there. No, we're not confused. We're not confused. We know who the stakeholder there.
What about Rita?
Oh, that foundational stakeholder then there.
You don't even know stakeholder there, man.
No.
You know what? Joseph
Konto
Orita told me say the way Joseph Konto, Orita, Zole Wesley, they told me say they will protest because you can overload their position, and I agree with them. You're not right.
Who?
Yeah, Joseph Konto told me that Orita said that.
Joseph Konto right now said starter.
They say Steve don't know the stakeholder. They say
Mr. Kane, Joseph Konto starter right now is in shambles because it looking shaky. It's not correct. Joseph Konto starter.
100%.
They're looking like they.
Let me tell you what some stakeholder they can do, Steve. I'm not calling a new, but someone there when the G's coming. Before the show, they can tell me, say, I got to get in the G's first before we come on the show. Oh, they stay with someone that's strong, someone that's powerful, someone that can force the information out of me. they can force the information out of me. They say, before you go on that show, you got to tell me what's going on. Yo! Because they're so concerned, they're so worried about Liberia. But they can threaten me with, if I don't tell them the show, if I don't tell them some of the kiki thing and then I on my own, and you know.
Well, the only thing I can tell you, your stakeholder then, that's not the stakeholder that we voted on. Those stakeholders then, we now want to go there.
How can you vote on BB stakeholder and you just making some other people there, Sonny?
Who?
All the BB people that are here.
Who?
What about Prince Masakwe? I don't hear you calling Prince Masakwe.
Forget about that, man. I stakeholder, man. Forget about Prince Masakwe, man. 1 minute supporting GMB, 1 minute supporting Kumi. We talk about stable stakeholder then too, not stable stakeholder then the leader Prince Masakwe.
The people say more like stakeholder, more say I'm play Prince Johnson the way you can say. And then people say, when they person trap me, he died. When they person trap me, he
Joseph Konto.
More say, I don't play that something that Prince Johnson can be telling people he can have how he can kill people. Sometimes like they confuse themselves. When Prince Johnson say, yes, it's God. They're not God, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ don't kill people for other people for each other. We disagree with somebody, he say, you stand, he say against me, you die. The other person say against me, they die. The other person say against me, they die. The other person say against me, they cripple. Imagine the way they accuse what do you mean? The way they accuse Jeremiah Kun for selling human part. And the way Joseph Boakai can sleep. Suppose something and some parties that missing. Now who is going to hold responsible? A Yombly? Because Yombly can be for them. You put Jeremiah Kun and Boakai two other in one place. Prince Johnson made a rule. Say they can steal. Costa say they can sell human part. And Papa can sleep. So what happened? Yeah, you leave just the two of them. What's going to happen? I mean, I won't be responsible for that kind of thing.
What, Mr. Kane, I will leave the person
Yeah,
my play.
no, I know. You gotta be here. Let me play the T1 Moshe you should play before you
Who is
go. Because
that? Who they call more?
one of they stay hold on.
No, I told you more from Georgia. She not stay hold on.
More let's stay hold up.
Beverly Pajibo and I stay hold on too. We discussing
So young one, Jeremiah could to be in the room was just Joseph Boaga when things start getting missing and then the people can say him up. They say make us say now me say they say make us say him up. But let me let you to Prince Johnson for it.
Oh, Prince Mazakwa, you support that coming and things to be.
Hold on. Oh no, not Prince Johnson there. That one that different recording there. let me play Prince Johnson.
That is your recording there. We giving them for December.
I come to the country to tell people I support him though. Principally, I tell you this. To be too damn greater than good. We elected Jeremiah in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Kupi, for example? Why does he want to compare against anybody, for example? You don't know me telling me I'm a principal-minded person. So I told you, people that go around the money that I see because he the ways I mean, deputy coach here. Any ministry that come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be burning my great, do a burning of my own. So you are on Saturday, you fight me, you fall. When Brenda about to try it down, when John will try it down, when the other try it down, when Tom will be try it cripple. Yes, brother.
So when Jamie tried that, what happened?
Yes.
So when I Steve, imagine everybody trying you die. Everybody try me, you die. Everybody try me. So why did Prince Johnson want to be president and then Jamie trying? Let me play it.
I have not come to the country to tell people I support him though. Principally, I tell you this. To be too damn greater than
The message Jeremiah couldn't greet
we
it.
elected Jeremiah
They made a roll.
in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Kupi, for example? Why does he want to compare against anybody, for example? You don't know me telling me I'm a principal-minded person. So I told you, people that go around the money that I see because he the ways I mean, deputy coach here. Any ministry that come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be burning my great, do a burning of my own. So you are on Saturday, you fight me, you fall. When Brenda about to try it down, when John will try it down, when the other you try it down, when Tom will be try it cripple. Yes, brother. I have a powerful God. Brother. Yes.
So Steve, let me tell you the funny thing before we go. Just one funny thing I want to tell you, and it's really funny, but it's serious. Somebody told me, say, Seku, that video, that audio you play of Prince Johnson, please send it to me. I said, what happened? They say, when you say you play that song, that audio, over and over and over, he said, Jeremy refused to answer Prince Johnson call. The Jeremy refused to answer Prince Johnson call. He said, because Jeremy scared her. So when Prince Johnson said, everybody try you die, they put you try you die, they put you try you die. They say that I play the audio over and over. So the person was telling me, say, send it to me. I said, what happened? He said, you play that thing, he said, Jeremy scared now to call Prince Johnson. He said, when that person try me, they die. And you know Jeremy can play people. He said, Prince Johnson, said, that's a threat. I'll play one more time. So the Jeremy, yeah.
Well, folks, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll
see you in a little bit.
I'll leave you, Mr. Kane. Mr. Kane, you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
I have not come to the country to tell people I support him though. Principally, I tell you this. To be too damn.
But the thing I made Bobby scared. Yeah, listen.
We elected Jeremiah in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Kupi, for example? Why does he want to compare against anybody, for example? You don't know me telling me I'm a principal-minded person. So I told you, people that go around the money that I see because he the ways I mean, deputy coach here. Any ministry that come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be born. My great grew up on my own. So,
just stop calling me now. That brings us infinity.
you fight me, you fall. When the end about to try it down, when Joko will try it down, when the other you try it down, when John will be try it cripple. Yes, brother. I have a powerful God.
I hear that. So the person say I must send a video audio to them, so they want to keep it because they want to scare the puppy. They tell me say we say he play that thing. They puppy now call us from Prince Johnson. Because Prince Johnson anybody try him, you die. You know, puppy can let us play people. So me, I say I'm not gonna play that thing because puppy is my uncle. But you know, for the Liberian people always force me. More is the bad influence. She's a very bad influence. And my own sister going to let the audio here because they want to scare the puppy. Yeah, they've been telling me to play over and over and over and over so the puppy can hear it. But again, y'all go now. And those people that contributed to SKT, want to say thank you. I think while we're talking, Joseph Conto sent $10. Yeah, but everybody that contributed, trust me, we acknowledge your contribution to SKTV today. This is the end of the month. So yes, in the end of contribution right now, all the contributions are valuable. The end of the month is even better. Yeah. But thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate everything. We'll be here tomorrow. You better make sure you come here tomorrow to support your party because it's not going to be easy. And some of the question I have, the way Costa said he will not support criminal Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun. And Costa say Jowuya and people then they are criminal syndicate. So for the sake of country now, maybe Onyambli and Komis form a team, maybe Costa will support Komis because of Nyambli. Because he said if Boga were going to take Nyambli, at least you were going to support Boga. But the way you're looking at, maybe all the opposition people will come together. Nyambli and Boga guy, Nyambli and Komis got together. Maybe. I'm not sure. But if that way, you see people there, I don't say Mogo pressing for Costa, but you just leave the man. When somebody already fall down, you can't be stepping on it before you kill it. So you let everybody be. I can't tell you. I see you. Oh, they say I'm going to play Nyambli song. And before we go, why the song says Steve, why did you still put the song? Okay, I found it. So yeah, I'm going to play Nyambli song and then that there now. You're bye-bye.
Orang punya power, what you want? Ini mah. Cebe na blok mako chinye, sere kona be nwebe mo be kora be jio. Haya, yon sense ni achie, wa gio ke wa blok mako saka ya. Okay, whatever you make you